Today, I'm going to be showing you the best champions for solo carrying low elo games. This is going to be specifically targeted towards Platinum and below, so if you're above that, this list doesn't really matter that much for you. But I'm going to be showing you how to play these champions and what to build on them and what their main goals are. And then in the latter half of this video, there's going to be a game of every single champion that I'm playing and talking through my thought process like a regular commentary on this channel. In case you're wondering who I am, I'm Esmo Shori. I've been Challenger every single season since Season 4. I've been a professional coach as well for about 6 years, coaching all the way from Iron to on stage, right? So, the criteria we have for these champions is usually going to be something along the lines of the champion scales very well because at the low end of the ladder, games tend to go on for quite a while. The champion can push because if they can push and they scale well, that means you can somewhat neutralize the game, stall the game out, and it means you can stop the enemy laner from impacting the game. The champion also needs to have a ton of damage in team fights during the late stages because you need to solo carry fights. And the only way you can solo carry fights is if you deal a ton of damage. Because if your AD carry is useless, your jungler is useless, and your top laner is useless, well, then the only damage in the game is going to be you. So you need to have a lot of damage, right? So, those are the usual criteria. I think also in terms of being very easy to play, champions that have a very straightforward kit, very obvious to know what they want to do in the game, and then they scale well, and they can push, and they have a ton of damage. Those are my criteria for having a very strong champion in the lower elos. Simple to play, pushes, scales well. So, first champion that fits those criteria is Veigar. I've seen a lot of success with Veigar at the lower end of the ladder. He's one of the more tricky champions. I know I say that, but one of the more tricky champions on this list. Your build is going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be Rod of Ages, Serath's, Deathcap, and Crypt Bloom. So Deathcap, you can get second if you want to skip Rod of Ages. If you want to go for a full damage build, you can go Ludens into Deathcap. That allows you to get online a little bit earlier in the game. But I recommend Rod of Ages with Serath's because it gives you a lot of tankiness, which means you are more allowed to make mistakes during the mid-game. You can get caught out and avoid dying. And it also makes your laning phase a lot stronger. Crypt Bloom is a must-buy fourth. Why? Because the healing aura of Crypt Bloom scales with ability power. And Veigar, when he gets to 4 items, usually has 1.2k AP, right? Meaning that you're going to be healing for around 400, a massive AoE heal. You basically get redemption on that item, right? So, your runes, you might be a little bit surprised to see Airy and like a full early game setup. The reason is very simply, on Veigar, if you get to 3 items, the game is won. There's no League of Legends anymore. You just get to collect your LP once you hit 3 items. So the name of the game is make sure the game is not completely over before you hit 3 items. And the way to do that is get a very, very strong laning setup to make sure that you can harass the enemy laner and stop them from impacting the game so you can get push. So, what are your key goals on Veigar? Well, the most important thing you can be doing on Veigar is stacking. So make sure you practice stacking, make sure you get very comfortable with last hitting with your Q, and then again, when you get 3 items, you win the game. And you want to be pushing the lane a lot. Why? Because that makes it harder for the enemy laner to roam. And if the enemy laner can't roam and impact the map, well then you can keep the game stable and reach your 3 items spike a lot more consistently, right? That's also why when you play any of these champions, by the way, your main priority is getting farm, getting minions, and getting to 3 items usually. And then you auto win the game. So, there are also a couple of breakpoints that you need to know on Veigar. At level 5, his WQ kills casters, so you can use that. At level 9, your WQ kills melee minions, and at level 9, your Q kills caster minions. So those are the main tips on Veigar. So you can go check out the video now if you want to, like the commentary. The next champion is Malzahar. You want to be running Blackfire Torch on him first item. I see a lot of people take Malignance on him. That's not very good because you're not going to be spamming your ult, so the ability haze doesn't really matter that much. Sure, it makes your ult deal a little bit more damage, but at the cost of all of your other spells dealing more damage with the massive Blackfire Torch damage over time that you can get, right? Also, Liandry's is next. Why? Well, because that is the highest damage tool that you can get second. Rylai's is slightly better in terms of giving you utility, but you want as much damage as possible, and Liandry synergizes very, very well with your damage over time E already, right? And then, last item, Rylai's. Why do we want Rylai's? Because we can slow a lot of champions, so might as well get that. Gives us massive utility in fights, right? So, you also want to be running Arcane Comet on Malzahar. You might be a little bit surprised to see this over Airy, but that's because every single time you deal damage, your Comet proc gets reduced cooldown, which means that you can get multiple Comet procs off in a fight, which does a ton of damage. It also synergizes very well with your Rylai's. Rylai's basically guarantees that your Comet is going to hit. You're also going to be running Scorch. You might be a little bit surprised to see that over Gathering Storm. The idea is very simply, Scorch helps you get through laning phase a little bit more easily, which means that the game is going to be a little bit more stable, which means you can get to your 3-item power spike a lot more consistently, right? Now, why is Malzahar even so good, by the way? I should have probably mentioned that earlier. It is because he constantly pushes waves and he can save a lot of tempo because he just presses E, W, Q on the wave and then the wave is dead. He doesn't even have to be in the lane when the wave dies. He just presses E, W and then leaves. So you can save a lot of time on Malzahar, which allows you to collect a lot of minions and it allows you to be on fights very quickly and be on objectives very, very quickly. He also is great at stopping champions from diving in. At the low end of the ladder, people are going to be diving into your team and you can just press R on them and stop them from having any fun. Now, your key goals on Malzahar, Lost Chapter. Once you pick up this item, you're basically set for the laning phase. The main issue Malzahar has in the lane is running out of mana. This is also something that you need to be very aware of during the early stages. You need to keep an eye out on your mana so you don't end up in this very, very bad situation where Malzahar is completely out of mana in the laning phase and he's getting pushed under tower and then the enemy laner can roam. So once you hit around 150 mana on Malzahar, start thinking about taking a base. It's okay if you can't buy anything super useful. You just need to make sure that the enemy laner cannot just shove you in under tower because you're out of mana. You also just need to be pushing every single wave. That's what Malzahar wants to do. But yeah, that's how you're going to be stopping the enemy laner from roaming. You're going to keep your mana pool high. You're going to take a lot of bases. You're going to get Lost Chapter. And then you're going to shove every single wave with EWQ. Get to your 3 items. Collect all the minions in the game. And then you can carry games, right? If, by the way, you struggle with mana on Malzahar, you should be running Presence of Mind with Ability Haste second. I find that I don't really struggle with it that much, but I know some players are struggling a little bit with mana during the mid game on Malzahar. If that's the case, Presence of Mind plus Haste is good. Next, Aurelion Sol. I'm sure all of you expected him here. Why? Well, because he is the champion in the game or he is the only mage in the game that's very, very good at killing frontline. He can actually kill tanks because of the percentage damage on his Q, and he scales so absurdly well. And he can stop the enemy team from sieging with his E. He makes it impossible to siege if he's alive. That's why he's so good, and he just scales incredibly well because of his ult as well, right? The build you're going to be taking on Aurelion Sol, Liandry's. That is not first. This infographic is wrong. You should be running Rylai's first. Why? Because Rylai's allows you to land your Q proc more consistently. It slows the enemy champion when you Q them, which allows you to get that massive big Q nuke. And hitting that massive big Q nuke gives you stacks, so you get to stack a little bit faster. Also, it gives you a lot of health, which is helpful because Aurelion Sol is a short-range champion, right? So you want health. Liandry's is next, because that helps you kill tanks a lot more easily, and your E is great for applying Liandry's. And then you can go Deathcap because Aurelion Sol has great AP scalings. You can also run like a Void Staff if the enemy team has a lot of magic users. That's completely fine as well. The build you're going to be taking is Arcane Comet, Mana Flow, Absolute Focus. Now, you might be a little bit surprised about Absolute Focus. Why would you not take Transcendence? Aurelion Sol actually doesn't really want cooldown reduction. Why? Because his main spell is Q, and your Q doesn't have a cooldown after level 9, so you don't need cooldown reduction, right? So that's why you're going to just be taking as much AP as possible instead, right? Now, you might also be noticing Aurelion Sol doesn't run a mana item. Yes, that is because he doesn't like cooldown reduction, so you don't want to buy a mana item. Now, that is also why you'll be taking both Mana Flow Band and Presence of Mind to make sure that you don't run out of mana during the mid game, right? If you find that you're struggling a lot with mana, or if you want to run like a stronger early game setup, you can take Blackfire Torch and then take Resolve secondary. You might also be a little bit surprised to see Scorch instead of Gathering Storm. That's because Aurelion Sol can proc Scorch very easily with Q taps. You'll see that in the commentary, and that makes his laning potential a lot stronger, and it just stops the enemy laner from stomping you in lane. Now, your goals on Aurelion Sol: stack. You want to get stacks as much as possible, so be very, very greedy, be very, very willing to just sack roams to make sure that you get your waves mid lane and you get your stacks. You need to accelerate towards as many stacks as possible as quickly as possible, right? Don't die early. Now, this might be obvious, but Aurelion Sol is very, very squishy during the early stages, and he does not do a lot of damage. It's very, very easy to die during the early game on Aurelion Sol, especially because you just want to stand still and Q the enemy laner, and then you just take losing trades, and all of a sudden you die. So be a little bit more conservative. Don't trade as much. Be okay with getting pushed in the early game. Aurelion Sol, out of all the champions on this list, is the weakest in the laning phase, but he also is the strongest late game, and he's the only one that can kill tanks. So if you are okay playing a little bit of a weaker champion during the early stage, then Aurelion Sol is great. Now, the last thing I want to say, the last tip is play around your ult. Now, what I mean by that is, of course, you want to play around your big ult, the enhanced ult that does a ton of damage. You want to use that in fights. But also, in the laning phase, be very willing to use your ult to take winning trades. Why? Well, because if you take a winning trade, then the enemy laner can't roam, right? So then they can't impact the map. And any duration where the enemy laner can't impact the map is winning for you because you're outscaling everyone. And whenever you ult someone on Aurelion Sol, you get 5 stacks. So you get to accelerate faster. So you get to stop the enemy laner from roaming, and you get to stack. That's a win-win. Last champion, Morgana. Now, Morgana has recently gone to the top of every single tier list. She's been sitting at the top of win rate in around gold and below for ages, and I've been having my eye out on her. That's why there's already a commentary on this channel for this champion. And she's just so good. Why? Because she's so simple to play. It is so straightforward what Morgana actually wants to do in the game. She wants to push the waves with her W, and then she wants to hit bindings on people late game. That is it. There are no advanced mechanics you need to know. If you go into the game as Morgana doing that, you'll win. So, what are we building on Morgana? I like going Blackfire Torch into Horizon Focus. Now, there are a lot of different builds on Morgana out there where you're running Rylai's for the slow on your W. Maybe you're running Liandry's for the massive amount of damage that gives you. Or maybe you're even running Hourglass second so you can flash in alt Hourglass and land a massive combo. I like Horizon Focus because it simplifies the game. It does what Morgana wants to do at the lower end of the ladder, which is throw out bindings. Because at the lower end of the ladder, even at the higher end of the ladder to be honest, if a Q hits, well, the target is more than likely dead. Like, they're stunned for 7 business days, and they're more than likely going to be dying in that stun. So why not give yourself as much haste as possible so you can throw out as many bindings as possible, so you have as many chances as possible to one-shot someone and kill someone, right? That's why I like this build. The build the runes you're going to be taking, pretty stock standard. I'd say the only thing that might seem a little bit weird and the only thing that's optional is Presence of Mind and Haste. This makes sense because you, again, just want to throw out as many bindings as possible. So Presence of Mind is to help you stop running out of mana because you're spamming your bindings. If you are comfortable managing your mana, you can also run Cut Down instead of Presence of Mind. This gives you a lot more damage during the later stages because most people you're hitting with a binding are full health, so you get that extra cut down damage, but I like Presence of Mind. Now, the key goals of Morgana. Push every single wave. Every wave is to be pushed. That's why she's so good. You push every single wave, and then you roam. Morgana, notably, is one of the only champions that I would ever recommend a lower MMR player that needs to roam. She can accelerate the game so well because of the amount of CC she has. It makes her very strong on roams, and she can push the wave super, super quickly. She gets to one-shot the wave at level 5, basically, and then you can roam out onto the map, look for dives, look for like jungle invades, because if you hit someone with your Q, or if you press R on someone, they're dead, and you get a lot of opportunities to fish for those roams because you can push every single wave. During the late game stages, play for Vision Denial, get a sweeper, play in Fog of War. It's a lot harder to dodge your binding if you're in Fog of War. If you're looking at a Morgana from max range and she throws a binding, it's pretty easy to dodge it. But if she's in Fog of War, very, very hard to dodge it, right? And don't look for hero ults. Morgana, you can win games by just sitting back and throwing Qs, and then that's it. And then eventually when your Q hits, you can go for an all-in. You don't need to flash ult during the late game stages to carry a fight. You don't have to. You can just press Q, and then if that hits, the target is dead. But yeah, those are the champions. Now there are going to be 4 videos each on one of the champions. They're going to be played in around Silver to Platinum MMR. So you can go ahead and check those out. You can check out whichever champion you want to start learning. And if you want to get coached by me, there's a link in the description that you can press. I'll help you improve at the game, yeah. And there's also a link in the description that you can enter your email into, where I'll actually just send you stuff that I've learned from coaching sessions, concrete tips that will actually help you improve at the game, concrete methods to improve. It's like 1,000 hours of coaching dialed down into a few emails. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the commentaries. So we're on Veigar mid lane. The runes we're taking are these ones with Aerie. The reason for Aerie is it is just very, very strong in the laning phase for Veigar. You can also do something like an electrocute that allows you to get a lot more damage off, obviously, right? Like it gives you a lot more burst potential. But Aerie is great, and you'll notice I'm also running Resolve. The reason for this is all of your like setups on Veigar should be focused around making the laning phase as strong as possible. Now, you might be a little bit confused by that because you might be like, but Gathering Storm seems to work so well with Veigar, amplify his scaling. Well, if you're playing Veigar and you get to a point where Gathering Storm actually has an impact, you're already at your spike, right? Like you are at your strongest once you start scaling. So you should take runes that make you strong in lane so you can make sure you get to the point where you're strongest in the game. It's the same reason for a lot of the offensive rune choices you'll see on a lot of scaling champions in the mid lane, to make it easier to scale. Looks like there's a smolder here. Let's slap him a little bit. Okay, he flashes. Could try to flash on him. Could also just slap enemy frontline. Oh, that's a Lissandra level 1. Yeah, that's a bit scary. Ooh, probably need to flash. I'm getting a ton of stacks though, which is awesome. I don't really want to fight. You flash that and leave me out to dry? Yeah, I mean, I can't do anything. Oh, maybe I can flash. Nah, let's just die. It's okay. We take Zoe flash. That's okay. Dude, my Jin is so funny. He just flashes and leaves me to die, and now I'm bleeding mid waves. Okay, well, teleport mid lane. I did get 12 stacks though, which is awesome. Oh, we're already off to a fiesta. See if we can stack this. The main approach that we're going to have in lane is we're just going to try to stack. We're going to see if we can land Q on the enemy laner and on a minion, and we're going to play very, very defensively. We're just going to sit back and line up our minions for Q stacks, play on the opposite side of the lane as the enemy laner. That's to guarantee that we can be as far away from them as possible so they can't really punish us as easily when we are on cooldown. Sucks that that minion barely died. You want to try to get double value out of your Q every single time. Here, I'm going to fire a Q at the Lissandra because I don't have to CS any of these minions anytime soon. So I'm not under, like, I don't need my Q available at the time. So I can afford to spend the cooldown on Lissandra instead. Again, I'm just going to continue slapping the wave, step back from the Lissandra. You'll see I move back quite a lot to try to dodge her spells to make it annoying for her to harass me. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you still just miss space and get slapped with a Q in the forehead. What matters is you're doing it a lot. You're playing very, very far back. Double points in Q. I really like doing double points in Q because generally speaking, your E has a pretty high mana cost and a pretty high cooldown, so you're not really going to be using it in the laning phase unless you're trying to set up ganks. But let's just take a spell that's better for stacking because it reduces the cooldown and it gives us more damage. So it means that we can stack higher health minions. Okay, so the Zoe has 4 kills at minute 3. That has me a bit concerned. Make sure we get the Canone. Make sure we play on the opposite side of the lane as the Lissandra. And just keep doing this. Keep stacking like this. Then I can Q this. And then back off. I do want to get a ward out. I can Q her here. Because I don't have any minions that I need to last hit, right? I want to get a ward out on the bot side here just to make sure I'm not getting ganked. And now I'm going to start spamming W on the wave. So when you hit level 5, which I haven't quite reached yet, but when you hit level 5 on Veigar, that's when you reach a breakpoint where you can now WQ caster minions. And generally speaking, you should do this to get your first base. Is she going to take it? Nah, it would be crazy. Okay, let's just keep stacking. Generally speaking, you should use that wave clear to be able to take your first base. I want to cancel her base here, make sure she doesn't get a free base off. I don't have teleport available, I am just now remembering, so I probably need to push out this base, or push out this wave and then just take my base, even though it's not a great base because I don't have enough money for a lost chapter, but beggars can't be choosers when the enemy laner bases and you don't have teleport available. So let's just shove out the wave and then take our base. Probably just going to buy tier 2 boots. Don't cancel me, don't cancel me. Thank the heavens. Buy tier 2 boots just to get maximum cooldown reduction so I can get more stacks off. And I can get back to lane a little bit faster this way. Probably just going to be playing Ludens. You have a couple of variations on Veigar. You can play Rod of Ages with Seraths. The problem with that setup is it's just slow. Meaning that, again, by the time you've scaled, the game is probably already decided. Now, at lower MMRs, games do tend to be undecided for considerably longer, so maybe there's some value in playing a hyper scaling setup on Veigar. I might try it and just go full scaling, just because, well, then you get very tanky with that build as well, right? Which means that you get very difficult to kill, so you can be a bit more, you can play team fights worse, or you can be more aggressive. Again, I'm just going to push waves, then step up to the Lissandra and slap some spells towards her. If I hit them, awesome. If I don't hit them, well, sucks. But we're just trying to push out the wave, that's it, and position ourselves away from the Lissandra. She does have a pretty sizable XP advantage, which means that I can probably die here. If the Wukong is ganking mid lane and she like flashes on me or something, then I can die. But notice, use my spells on the wave, run away. Now she uses her spells on the wave, that means I can run up, because now she's on cooldown. And you'll notice, despite the fact that she's ahead of me, it doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm walking up and I'm pressuring her. Whenever you start pushing the wave, dude, this is great. 5 kills at minute 6. That's crazy. She's running down. Lissandra is running down. I would love if you could leave. I'm not going to follow the roam. I'm just going to sit mid lane and push out the wave. Yeah, I would love if you could not die to the Lissandra. That would be awesome. Barely got the stack. Wait, we're fighting? But we just saw her. But we saw her. Run down. Over wards. And I pinged her. 6 times. And she didn't flank you. She just walked up to you. Huh? Well, I mean, not a lot I can do about that. I did what I could. Like, I absolutely did everything that I could. Not my fault if my teammates are gonna die to that. That was the most obvious roam I've ever seen in my life. And it worked. I'm gonna take my base here because I'm out of mana. I am going to try going for the tanky setup this game, actually. Generally speaking, I would recommend just going Ludens. It's a lot easier to play Ludens, and it gives you a lot of damage, which is obviously great. Allows you to find one-shots, allows you to threaten quite heavily in the laning phase, but let's go for a tanky setup here, because games at the lower end of the ladder, generally speaking, are quite slow, and you usually will get to a late game where your items have scaled, and this does make you incredibly strong late. So it also makes me harder to kill, which is very nice because the enemy team composition is very threatening. Again, I'm just going to push out waves and then fire some spells to the Lissandra. We're about to hit another crucial breakpoint on Veigar, which is when you get 3 points in your W, you can start W queuing melee minions, which greatly increases your push potential. I'm just going to throw some spells at the Lissandra. My Briar is dead. I mean, not a lot I can realistically do about that. He's probably going to take your top side. I'm going to try to cage the Lissandra. Maybe I can take her ult here. Nope, I will just chunk her out. That's fine. Now we are on cooldown, so need to step back. Then again, WQ the casters. Step back, opposite side of the lane as the Lissandra. Remember that. Just to make sure you don't get punished. Then step up, Q again. And now I can look to do whatever I want, because I've pushed out the wave. So maybe we can try to threaten the Lissandra again. I think she dies here. Oh, barely. She has enough time to do that. I didn't know. Yeah, she will just leave. You'll notice I'm doing double points in W. That is to get to the breakpoint where at level 9 I can WQ the caster or the melee minions. Because that allows you access to so much more wave clear. Again, I'm just gonna push out mid lane. I forced the enemy Lissandra back. Push out mid lane. Slap the tower a little bit. Put down the cage. She's gonna teleport into that cage. We slap her a bit and then we run away. We know that the Wukong is on the top side of the map because we saw him take grubs, so slap him a bit and run away. Oh, this could be a bit dodgy. Maybe not. Could flash. Nice, he dies. Lissandra should be no ult, no flash. Okay, she dies as well. I would love the Canone. Nice, sweet. And then just push out the wave. And then take my base. My Briar is asleep. Oh, I would love this plate. Oh, I would love nothing more than to take this plate. Hey, get the plate. You can get it. You can take it. You can take it. Hey, it's free for you. Nah, we'll just let the plate die. It's okay. Take my base, get my catalyst, get my blasting wand, and then come back out into the lane. Again, we're playing 10 CS per minute on Veigar, and we have 120 CS, or 120 stacks. That's all that matters. Getting your stacks and getting your minions. Some games will be lost before you get to impact it. That's okay. You should not focus too much on those games, right? Like, some games are just going to move too fast for Veigar to be able to do anything. because he can't do anything proactively. All he can do is get stacks and try to win lane and then join fights on 2 items when he's strong. But he can't really do a whole lot before that, which is okay. What you should focus on is getting to that point as quickly as possible, and then just disregard games where you don't like have a chance to get to that point. Oh, is she gonna take it? Not a bad play by her, but I don't think she has ult. I'm just missing every single spell. Again, I can step up because I know she doesn't have spells, and I know I can outrange her as well. Wukong is around mid lane here, so he's gonna run mid. He is quite squishy. Maybe I can kill him if he face checks. Damn. I was trying to Q him, cage him, and then land another full rotation on him. Just didn't quite get it. Make sure that we are getting our stacks. Only thing that matters on Veigar. Stacking up. Wukong is on that. Lissandra is top lane. Okay. I guess I will slap mid lane towers then. Wukong is probably gonna come defend this. Which is okay. I will just slap him then. Slap the wave. That's all I care about. Get the stacks. Get the CS. Step back. Q again. Keep slapping the tower. Lissandra is probably gonna come mid lane. Either that or Garen is gonna come mid lane. So we need to like, kind of mentally prepare for that. She's not gonna take it. That's crazy. Yeah, she will just ult. We will trade ults again. That's okay. Trading ults with Lissandra is okay. Why? Well, because if she doesn't have ult available, she's not that scary on a gank setup. And she might be like, oh, well, if Veigar doesn't have ult, he's not that scary. He can't kill me. Which is true. But I don't need to kill you. I just need to keep stacking. You need to set up ganks. You need to do something. Cage, then Q, then W. There's no way you take this. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can try to force her into it. Oh, dude, I thought I got missing pinged. I was going to say, how is this in any world my fault? Uh-oh, Cage here. I know she's down here. Maybe she can die. Pantheon should have that. Awesome. Come back to lane. Again, we can now start maxing our E, because all you care about is that breakpoint on your W. So you can kill the... It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you don't get Canone minions. That's fine as well. Like, you don't really want them. They kind of want you, right? Again, move towards our Archangels next. Generally speaking, you would love Ludens into Deathcap into Crypt Bloom. I think that is Veigar's optimal build. But this build is easier to play in the sense that you don't need to be as worried about dying in the laning phase. But be aware that this build is just a lot slower. Again, see if I can slap the Lissandra with some spells. And then just get my stacks. Cage the Lissandra to see if I can hit spells on her. She's roaming. I don't think there's anything that I can do to respond to that, so I will just step up to my wave and push it out as quickly as possible to make sure she loses something for whatever she's doing here. Is she actually committing to the roam? Seems crazy if she is. Now Wukong can defend mid lane from top side. Wow, she actually just full on committed. Yeah, I mean, well played to her. There's not anything my bot lane can do about that. Like, if I read that she would commit and just ran down, we could have killed. I just didn't expect her to commit. Seems like an absurd commit, to be honest. Because my bot lane backed off very respectfully. And she was dropping a wave mid lane for that. So that's... I mean, respect to her. Like, that's a very, very aggressive roam. And it's not bad by any means. Again, we can cage here. Catch her. Okay, so that's where she spawns. She doesn't have her claw up, so she's not that scary. So I will just throw some spells at her. She missed the cannon minion. Should be able to one-shot the Wukong here. Nice. Lissandra used ult as well. That was very ambitious. So Lissandra is no ult now. I can keep pushing out mid-wave. Again, I'm just trying to play 10 CS per minute. I have a ton of stacks as well. You can die here. You understand this, right? Q flash kills her. Is she gonna flash that? I was hoping she wouldn't be able to flash the Q flash. Because it is a little bit faster than people will anticipate. But if you're looking for a Veigar Q flash, you'll dodge it every time. But that's okay, because now she gets forced to base, which means that I can threaten this mid lane tower. And again, the way we're going to push out is we're going to kill the melees first with WQ. And then we're going to Q the casters to make sure we get all of our stacks. And then I can just slap this tower now. And then we have guaranteed a first tower. Despite the fact that the enemy mid laner has 3 kills. And now I should be considerably stronger than... But I'm I'm so close to my archangels. This is unfathomably greedy. But if I can land one rotation on her, she should be scared of death as well. But this is very greedy. Cage? Oh, nice. I will just pop my ult just to threaten her. Just to tell her to get back, you know? Because I'm gonna base anyway, so I don't care about my ult being on cooldown. This just means she can't walk up to me as easily. Don't flash. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Okay. Jesus. Gonna just take my base here. Then I have my archangels. And a lot of stuff is happening on the map around me. Notice? I don't care. Because I just need to stack, push my wave, get to my 2 items, get to my 3 items, and then show up to team fights. That's all I care about. And then if I have a push and then I can move and do something, I will happily do that. But I'm not trying to force proactive plays or anything. Although Veigar can do it, I don't recommend you do it at the lower end of the ladder. Unless you just don't lose anything. So if you're pushing out your waves and then you don't lose anything for moving to a play, of course, do it. But if you're bleeding waves or something like that, then don't. Like, your primary priority should not be looking for roams. Primary priority should be get your stacks and then get your 2 items and then call it a day. Slap some spells on the Lissandra. Now go for my wards on the top side here. Go for another ward up here. Oh, it looks like there's a Wukong. Let's see if we can catch him. He's gonna go over the wall. Nice, he should die. Perfect. I don't die to her. I'm very tanky. Yeah. Kind of the benefit of running Rod of Ages, you see it right there. Like, I would have died if I was just playing Ludens. But Rod of Ages, I survived that. Oh, looks like my Jhin has decided to roam. Which does mean that enemy Smolder is taking a tower. I probably need to teleport top lane to defend our tower up here. I'm going to be moving into Death Cap next. The reason being is you get a ton of AP from your passive, right? Means that Death Cap is just incredibly, incredibly valuable because it will give you a ton of ability power. That's why you can build it second. Because your passive amplifies the Death Cap enough for it to be your best second item. It is the item that gives you the most damage. That second item. Now, the reason I'm not building it is because if you go Rod of Ages, you have no cooldown reduction, and generally speaking, you need a cooldown reduction item on Veigar. Otherwise, it's a bit rough. Are you gonna take that? You don't have ult, do you? Are you not just dead? Yeah, you are. What are you doing here? Why are you up here? Excuse me? I don't understand. Why did my Shen run up here? I don't really get it. You should have gone mid lane. Now Garen is going to take a mid lane tower despite the fact that I just killed the enemy top or enemy in a 1v1. What was the point of that then? Okay, that's fine. Run bot lane here because my bot lane has decided to open up through mid lane. That is a terrible Shen ult, but I respect it nevertheless. Oh, actually, never mind. It's the best Shen ult of all time because Wukong was looking for an angle. That's okay. I'm just going to run bot lane. I care about my CSing. I care about getting my resources, then showing up to fights when I don't lose anything for it. That's why I'm playing 190 CS right now at minute 18. That should be the goal on Veigar. Get to your spike and then show up to fights. Don't show up to fights before that. Maybe I can cage him. Nice. Collect some free stacks. Keep collecting stacks. My teammates can fight mid lane all they want to. If they lose, sucks. I will collect my stack spot lane. If they win, awesome. I will still collect my stack spot lane. Yeah, just keep pushing bot. Apply pressure to this tower, but make sure you get your stacks. Okay, there's a fight happening up here. Maybe I should look to move to that now, because I'm not going to be getting this tower realistically speaking, so I might as well try to help my teammates here. I already got the wave as well, so... Cool trick on Veigar. If you cage near an enemy, you will get an assist. Doesn't actually have to stun them. Yeah, I don't think my cage got up in time, sadly. That was also an invisible cage. Sadly, it didn't reach the Wukong, so that sucks. I think he died before my cage went up. Enemy team can send a lot of people bot side here, so let's just back off. My teammates are all in base, so they're not applying any pressure. I can try to trap the Lissandra here, see if I can maybe look for a little cage on her. Oh, dodge it. Some aggressive dodging here. Okay, am I dead? Nope. I've been ignited. Slap some spells on the Garen while running away. Again, we're very tanky, right? Like, that's the entire point of this build. You get incredibly tanky. I still have my Serath's proc, so I'm not gonna die. That's why I recommend this build to lower MMR players, because you get very tanky and it gets easy to survive when the enemy team gets on top of you when you miss space, inevitably. Cage. Not necessarily because I want to kill him, but because I want the assist. Looks like the assist only happens when there's no one else near then. Like, with no one else is taking an assist, I know this gives you an assist. But I guess it's only if no one else is getting the assist. I can Q flash her here and she will die. Q flash ult. That's the only combo you really need to know on Veigar. Q flash ult. And then you just one-tap someone. And usually people are not going to be quick enough to react to it, because you need to dodge the Q. Like, you need to flash the Q, because once the Q comes off, Veigar will always be able to ult, and the ult will follow you because it's point and click, right? So if you don't flash the Q, you just die. So we'll keep pushing out bot lane here, keep slapping the tower, place a little cage, keep slapping the tower. Smolder dies. Nice. I probably need to take my base here. Uh-oh. Do you have flash? Uh-oh, do you have flash? Keep playing at the range. Get my stacks. Well, I'm not trying to play this, brother. I am low health. Let's just back off. I'm ready with my cage. But I would love to just take my base because I have a death cap. And then I can teleport back out and help you guys now. You ran into it? That's funny. Yeah, I will just press my ult on you. I have my death cap now. I'm quite strong, you know. Nah, I'm kind of one-shotting everyone when you get your death cap with this build. Yeah. Now I have 1000 AP at minute 22 because I'm stacking. Yeah, I'm ready for the flash. Now the flash is not as good, but it doesn't matter because he still walked into your range. I could have saved him. Uh-oh. You don't kill me. And I do a lot of damage. Yeah, you don't kill me either. Outplayed. This is why resources matter so much on Veigar. Get your stacks, get your gold, and then get 3 items, and I promise you, you will just win every single game. Once you get to this point. Like, some games will be lost beforehand, and that is okay. That is variance. But once you get to this point, games are unlosable anymore. Even if everyone on your team is inting, that's okay. Just play patient, sit back, and throw out spells, and you will just deal more damage than everyone else in the game. You will win 99% of games that get to this point. Okay, Smolder is dead. Good night. Okay, now my Briar has decided to go in because she ulted. That is okay. We will throw our spells around and then run away. Again, throw spells and run. That is the name of the game on Veigar. Cage. Keep running. You see, right? Like, throw spells, run away. Throw spells, run away. And you just murder everyone. Yeah, she dies too. Good night. That's a penta. Right? Like... It didn't matter that I didn't have a ton of kills before that. I got to my 3 items, and once you reach these 3 items on Veigar, you can't lose. Which is why I recommend Luden's death cap, because then you get to that point a little bit faster. But then you can die a little bit more easily. So if you're not as comfortable playing as a squishy champion, who is short range, Veigar is quite short range when it comes to actually catching people in the cage. Yeah, then go this build instead. This build is a lot easier to play. It's a lot easier to play. Than the Luden setup. But I mean, you can see damage dealt highest in the game by far. It doesn't matter if teammates are winning or losing. Like, bot lane was getting slapped, top lane was getting slapped, doesn't matter. Enemy mid lane, black hole. And then we just push waves and that's it. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Have a good one. See ya. We're back on the Malzahar. In around the gold, platinum, MMR, we're playing against a Yone. You know the name of the game. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. I might actually be tempted to not get both potions because I am playing against the Yone. It's not like he's going to be trading very heavily against me. So let's just do one potion. This is a cool trick you can do against champions when you're playing Malzahar, because you're not going to be interacting with the enemy laner that much regardless. And it's not like the Yone can get on top of me and trade with me very easily. And this just allows me to get Lost Chapter a little bit faster, which is essentially what you need on Malzahar, right? Like, your goal on Malzahar is to get Lost Chapter as quickly as possible, because that's how you're going to be pushing out waves super easily without really running into the issue of getting gated by mana. Like, but you guys know the name of the game, by the way. We're not going to be doing anything crazy in the lane. We're just going to be pushing waves, and that is it. Level 1, it's a little bit difficult to be pushing against Yone. He can shove you in quite quickly because he has more of a Q spam than you do. He has more wave clear early than you do. So realistically speaking, what you should do against him is just try to hit him as much with E as possible to harass him, but we don't do that here. We play very non-interactively until we get our Lost Chapter, and then we shove out the wave and make magic happen that way. We don't want to try to mechanically gap the Yone. That doesn't matter. We want to just farm minions, get items, and then we start playing League of Legends. Because that's the consistent way to carry games. I could shove him in. I think it makes a lot of sense to start pushing the wave here. Mostly because if I push the wave level 1, it's going to be quite difficult for him to harass me. This does also technically create timers where I can harass him. Look, my E bounced to him. The problem being is if I have an ironclad rule where I can't harass him, it gets a little bit difficult to manage the lane after this. Because I should be harassing him here, right? Because of the way he's playing. He's playing a little bit too far up. But you guys know the drill. Looks like my bot lane is winning, which is good. Not sure how. I feel like Silas Samira should be winning. Okay. I am being harassed. That is okay. He wasted his E, that means he doesn't have it available, so I shouldn't really be scared of anything. Realistically speaking, I can walk up and trade with him. I will not. I will just be popping down my E and calling it a day. He went Doran's Blade as well, which feels insane to me. Again, here I should be slapping him a lot, but patience, patience. He's 2 CS down. Main thing I need to be careful of is not blowing too much mana. He can also kill my little pets very quickly, so I also need to be a little bit aware of that. Shove the wave. I like doing double points in E, mostly because I don't think you're realistically going to be queuing a whole lot during the early stages. Again, just step back. Don't need to try to do anything to the Yone. Whenever he jumps on me, just run away and then get my minions. He's gonna want to jump in here. That's fine. I'm getting my mana flow band procs as well, which is nice. He's gonna Q again, and then he's gonna have 3 stacks, so I guess I'll wait a little bit because he's gonna try to E here as well. Actually, I'll just shove out the wave. Press my E on the wave and then walk away. Ouch. That's fine. Oh, the bounce barely didn't go off. I can just keep shoving out the wave. I am gonna run out of mana quite quickly doing this, but that's okay. On Malzahar, the main thing to keep track of, like I said earlier, is just making sure you don't run out of mana. Running out of mana is kind of the worst thing you can do. So once you start hitting around 200 mana, you need to start getting very aware of when you're actually going to be running because you usually need 2 full rotations on the wave to start pushing it out, or to fully push it out. And that's what you get at 200 mana. Okay, yeah. He wants to trade, so we need to start thinking about a potential base here. Although I don't have Lost Chapter yet, so I don't really want to base. I don't mind getting pushed in by the Yone. I think that's okay. Looks like Zed wants to gank. That looks pretty impossible. Let me just set up a freeze here. Setting up a freeze here is going to allow me to push the next wave a lot easier. That's why I'm doing it. Because you'll see the next wave is going to come in closer to me, which means I can shove this wave out pretty safely without the Yone really being able to do anything to stop me. So now I get a free shove out on the wave. Cool trick you can use to try to get an actual base. I understand you want to gank this, but is it really possible? Well, I missed my spells. Just back off if you would, please. I think you might have killed yourself, buddy. Yep, I mean, I can do this, but I still think you're dead. Maybe I can block for you. Oh, you survived. Crazy. Well, the problem is now I have to stay for another wave because I don't quite have my Lost Chapter, so now I have to wait for the Yone to actually push me in. Is my Zed killing himself up here? It certainly feels like it. Yeah, I mean, I can't help you. I don't have mana. Using my E to last it like that is maybe a little bit bad. So, I saved you, you survived, and then you went in and killed yourself for no reason. That's awesome, buddy. I love seeing that. Go for my Lost Hits Under Tower here. Need to start thinking about a base. Well, I don't even need to start thinking about a base. I desperately need a base. It's okay. We've bled a few minions early game. That's all good. I want to try to conserve mana as much as possible so I can shove out the wave a bit more easily. I kind of griefed my last hits here. I think maybe this E is also not good. Ah, it's okay. I can W here and then just take my base. Look, I understand you want to play for me, but I am completely out of mana. So please just let me base and get my lost chapter. And then I can TP back to lane and actually play the game. Get a pink ward as well. But you can see I didn't even pop my initial potion in this lane. That's how uninteractive it is. I'm going to hit level 6 here, so if Yone tries to trade with me, that's fine with that's like completely fine with me. He could die here. Like realistically speaking, I think he is solo killed there. If I kill the wave and then slap him, but it's okay. My interests are not in solo killing the Yone. My interests are in cancelling his base, because he definitely queued over this wall to take his base. So let's go say hi to him. Yep, there he is. And now I get to cancel his base. So he's going to bleed time, and he's not running teleport as well. So any minute that I cancel him, he's going to be bleeding minions. Bot lane is winning. Bot lane is getting ganked and dying. Bot lane is dying. Not great. Can we get a plate? Realistically speaking, not. How's top lane looking? It's a Mordekaiser. Ganking a Mordekaiser as Malzahar feels a bit suicidal. So we're not going to do that. Just going to take my wards around bot side here. Yone didn't get to base yet either. So any second that I can keep him trapped mid lane is obviously great for me. Why? Because Yone is not pressuring me and I'm playing Malzahar. I mean, I'm just going to keep pushing the waves. Are you going to take a base here or are you not? Yeah, you're not, right? Perfect. So Yone W actually does percentage health. It does not do flat damage, so he can't actually kill your minions very quickly. I mean, this guy's just dead. I'll just ult. Then he dies. Perfect. Come back to mid lane. Cancel Yone's base again. I mean, this guy keeps being so greedy with his base. And now he's going to lose a plate for it. Like, I'm going to continue shoving out the wave. Fully stack my W before I use it. Your W stacks with the amount of spells you've used since the last summon. So you can get maximum amount of little voidlings here. I mean, I'm just going to keep slapping the mid tower. I'm just going to slap this tower. Probably go for a ward on the bot side. Top side is not bad either. I think ward on the top side makes a little bit more sense. But if we're playing Drake, then maybe I should have gone to the bot side. The reason top side makes sense is I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to be playing grubs here instead of like after the Drake play is over. So I don't think we need vision on the bot side, but I do want to shove out my wave before I do anything. So just try to be as uninteractive as possible and just shove out the wave here. Yeah, you can trade with me as much as you want to, but I'm just pushing the wave. Are you going to hit me as much as you want? The wave is getting crashed, and I will just take my base anyway. Could argue that maybe I should have helped with that Drake play. To be honest, I thought it was kind of guaranteed. Take my base. Move back to mid lane. We're moving into Blackfire Torch. But you can see Yone can get on top of me and beat me in trades. But as long as I push the wave, it doesn't matter. Because then I can just take my base, come back to lane, and keep playing. Like, I'm full health now. He took half of my health. But now I come back to lane with full health, and I can keep pushing. Plus, it's not like I'm that big of a threat when I don't have my ult available. So I don't care about really sitting in base as long as I don't lose minions for it. Q max second. We have an XP advantage as well. I do kind of want to trade with him. I know he's sitting in the bush, but I can just shove out the wave. That should be good enough. Yeah, now we can Q this, and we can get a bounce onto him. Not quite, but that's okay. We shove out the wave. Now I can run up and contest this. Maybe pop potions? No. Maybe look for graves? Yeah, I don't mind popping an ult on him. He's dead. We got our first move again. Yone can be trapping a bush here. I'm just going to come back to mid lane. Yeah, there he is. This is crazy to play, by the way, by Yone. Really bad by him. I don't know why he's doing this. Because you can die to Aurora so easily. Or Zed. Really. I thought my Aurora came down, to be honest. That's okay. I have no interest in chasing him. Let me just go push out my waves. I really thought that was my Aurora, not my Zed. I feel like they have a very similar color scheme. Jesus. Well, we're going to ward the bot side here and continue playing. I have double buff, so I'm not really under threat of dying, I don't think. I can die to his Q3 though, so let's be a bit aware of that. There we go. He can also E on top of me, and that can get a bit awkward. But I mean, as long as I push the wave, it's kind of okay. I mean, he keeps getting bounced on. He doesn't have any threats. I can just take minions. And eventually my bounce is going to hit him, in which case, well, he is playing Absorb Life, though, so whenever he kills my minions, he heals for a ton. I have enough gold for Blackfire Torch, so I want to look for a base quite soon. Or, well, I actually probably just want to look for a base now. Shove out this wave as quickly as possible and then just leave. I think this is good enough. There we go. Just take my base. He gets slapped a bit. I take my base now. I get the Blackfire Torch. Then we move into Rylai's second. The reason Rylai's second is better than Liandry's? Is it actually? Yeah, I think so. Just the just the CC is so helpful from Rylai's. Although Liandry's does give you a ton of damage compared to Rylai's. Yeah, maybe it is Liandry's. I think Liandry's maybe is better. I actually forget what the build order is at this point. I know you need both, but I forget which you go first. Yone is basing now, which means I can take a plate because I have my teleport. And Malzahar does a ton of damage to towers with his W because he can keep his entire wave alive, which means your minions are just constantly hitting that tower, dealing additional damage. And your pets are also dealing a ton of damage to him. But you can see, we just have a 30 CS advantage mid lane and a 2-plate advantage. And I'm just pushing waves, that's it. Not trading with the Yone. Not trying to mechanically out-muscle him or anything like that. Just pushing my spells on the wave and then running away when the Yone has Q3 up. Now he wants to go on me. Yeah, I'll use my spells and then just walk away. And I'll miss a couple of minions, but that's okay. Because he lost half of his health. So he should be a little bit worried now. And he doesn't have his E available, so I'm not too scared about him doing anything here. Yeah, look. We bait him into that. That doesn't work. I think you just die. Oh, with Graves here, maybe I die. I could have ulted the Yone there. The problem is I would die. Does he have Ignite up? Oh, I really want to collect this wave. I think just press R on him and he dies. Oh, yeah. That sucks. Well, he flashed. So it goes. If I eat him instead of eating the wave, he was dead there. But in my head, he knew that I could kill him, so he wouldn't even jump in initially. Like, he knew that he would die to an E ult, but seems like he really wanted to force that play. Which is okay with me. He lost his flash. Bot lane is winning. Top lane is... I mean, looks to be winning, but isn't really winning. Mordekaiser is winning. Is Mordekaiser an issue this game? I don't think Samira can actually deal with Mordekaiser in the 1v1, so he might become a problem. But realistically speaking, I just press R on him, right? And then who cares? How did my wave get into this spot? I feel like I got very bad RNG on the wave here. Because my cannon minion isn't going to die. Like, Yone is going to get to pick up a cannon minion here. Well, we're just going to shove out the wave and leave. EWQ on the wave, and then just leave. Can go for a ward on the bot side here. Looks like Graves is doing this. I mean, I will slap him a little bit maybe. The problem is I can get collapsed on very easily. Are we trying to play this? Like, I'm super down to play it if we are. Yone is no flash, no ult. The problem is we can die very easily here, and we're at a numbers disadvantage. Surely we just killed the Kai'Sa here. She went full in. My Samira should get a pentakill here, I think. Keep playing it. She's useless. Wait, she didn't die? I thought she was dead already. Maybe go push out bot lane here. Zed will take over mid lane. I don't really want to run through the enemy team. That's why I'm running bot lane here to push out, and now I can go mid lane. Just guarantee the push and then leave. My Zed should beat the Yone 1v1. Nice. So we get to collect the bot wave, and now I get to run mid lane and collect this wave as well. The beauty of Malzahar, you just shove waves so quickly that you can run around the map and vacuum up every single wave. And it's great because you just accelerate. And the faster you get 3 items on Malzahar, the more likely you are to win the game. Like, that is your goal. Make sure the enemy mid laner doesn't take over the game. That's number 1 priority. Number 2 priority, and the way you do that is just by pushing waves, right? To make sure that they can't roam. Number 2 priority, just accelerate. Get resources. Like, that is the main skill to learn, especially if you're at the lower end of the ladder. Resource collection. It's the biggest increase I saw when I went from... It's the biggest, like, increase I see in skill the more I climb. I mean, you just get one shot, don't you? Although you did kill my W, so maybe not actually. I should flash that. Yeah, I die now. I should have flashed this ult. I was greedy. Did my Q miss him? He killed my W, so I didn't kill him. So it goes. Sometimes you mechanically misplay. I mean, the Sylas also came mid, so it's okay. I really thought I could one-shot him, but now I have my my Liandry's as well, so now I have a ton of damage. I would love if Zed could defend this tower. That would be great. I should have also just flashed the Yone ult. I was looking for it and then just didn't do it. Are you not dead anyway to ignite? Okay, never mind. No, you certainly do die to the flash ult though. Maybe I TP top lane here to cover. My Aurora doesn't have teleport. I can kill him, I think, and he doesn't take the tower in time. So let me TP top lane, then my Aurora can run bot lane, and then we're cooking here. I think you just die though. Oh, you're trying to fight me? You killed all my pets, though. Do I not reach you? Maybe if I run this way, then I can cut you off. I need to run the long way here to cut him off. Okay, now he's guaranteed dead. Now there's no way out for him. I mean, he's trying to outplay me. But I think I just murder him anyway. As soon as I manage to cut him off, then there's no way out for him. That's why you immediately saw me not like run after him into the bushes. I ran towards where he would have to escape from. And then I cut off his exit. And then at that point I can just wait. And I can just continue throwing spells. And eventually something is going to connect. And if nothing connects, well, eventually I'm going to get my ult up and then you die. I again just murder you. But let me just shove out the waves first. Because pushing waves is what really matters. So let's get the waves in. Shove those out, and then I can look to take my leave afterwards. There we go. Kill all the minions. Can just kill them. They die while you're not even paying attention. I mean, I will just ult you. You should die to the Z combo. Yeah. Good night. Ah, God, I love Malzahar. Yone is bot lane. Mordekaiser can be topside, so let's check the bush with a Q just to make sure we're not going to get Mordekaiser. And we're just going to continue pushing out waves here. He's behind me, eh? Do you have flash? Because then I can die. If you do not have flash, then I do not care. There's a Kai'Sa here. My bot lane is dying 1v1. There's a Sylas here. Where's my Z? Ah, my W did not come up in time. I might be dead here. He can take my ult and then kill me. Oh, he decided to go for the Z. What a mistake. Need to take my base here. Maybe can push out mid lane. But Graves can open through mid lane. But Graves is going to run up here and fight. For sure. So if I go through mid lane now, I can take the tower and Graves is not going to... You go mid lane to clear that wave? That's crazy to me. Well, let me just one-shot the wave and then take my base. You don't kill me. I have my shield, buddy. But he is going to try to W it and then ult. But it doesn't kill me. I mean, we got to push out the wave. And then I held the Graves, which meant he didn't run up here and impact the fight. I'm just so shocked that he didn't run up there. This is very awkward because I've gotten perfect gold. Like, I've gotten perfect gold on all of my bases, meaning that I haven't been able to pick up tier 2 boots. Like, you really want Sork Shoes on Malzahar, because that gives you the most amount of one-shot potential through your ult on someone, which is really what you want. You don't care too much about the ability haste from Ionian boots. You just want the one-shot potential in your ult, because it allows you to one-shot people a lot more easily with Sork Shoes. You might think Ionian boots are good because it allows you to get more ults off, but no, your ult actually has to be threatening. With Sork Shoes, that's why it matters. Just the way to deal the most amount of damage. Enemy team is sending 800 people up here to match me, but look, I can sit back, and my E kills the entire wave and slaps the Yone. I don't even have to do anything. I just have to sit back and wait. And now my teammates have a numbers advantage, and now someone has to go cover mid lane. Is Sylas still here? No, he's not. Kind of want to make sure that the Yone doesn't murder me here. I don't think he kills me. I am 3 items, so it would be crazy to me if he beats me. Okay, not a bad play by you. Did you kill my minions? You did, so I'm not going to open on you yet. Gonna make sure that I have minions available because they deal a ton of damage. And I did not have my minions available, so he beats me 1v1. The reason I didn't insta-ult was because his ult killed my minions. And you really don't do a lot of damage with Malzahar if you don't have minions. And then his Q killed my minions, which meant that I didn't have it available when I ulted. Maybe I just needed to wait more. Like, maybe that was just the way to play that. It is funny to me that he's 1.5 items. He could be 1 item and still 1v1 me. Even though I'm 3 items. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have the damage to one-shot him. I'm still kind of surprised about that, though. Maybe with, I mean, realistic, like, what I could do is just play it slower. And then eventually he'll get chunked out by my E. And then when he gets chunked out, right, like, I can murder him. I'm just so shocked that he beats me in the 1v1 like that. But I guess, like, if he keeps killing my minions, then I don't have damage. Yone is going to open through mid lane here. I'm just going to take minions. He could be trying to trap me, or he could be doing red buff here. Okay, he's not doing red buff. Let me just take minions here, and then go shove out top lane. He's probably in base, if I would have to guess. So let's just shove out top lane. Yeah, there he shows. Okay, shove out. Oh, dude, he's going this. Okay, so he's really trying to beat me in the 1v1, which he does do, but I don't feel like he's that useful for the game with these items. He's gonna run top lane, so I'm just gonna push this out and then leave. And then Atakan is available, so I can potentially TP bot lane here and then try to force a fight. I think that looks good to me. Mordekaiser's dead as well. Graves is top lane too for some reason. So let's teleport bot lane, pick up a sweeper as well while we're at it because we want to deny vision. I now have my pen boots as well. So now I'm going to shove out bot lane and then I'm going to just trap the bush and make sure that no one can contest the Atakan. And I'm going to do my best to avoid the Yone here. Like just try to move away from him as much as possible. You got hit by that. You're dead, I think. I just flash ult you. I think you just die, buddy. I think you're dead anyway. There we go. Oh, mid lane died. Aurora should not be able to die against Yone, but that might have been what she was thinking about me. She must have been like, Malzahar can't die 1v1 against Yone. But then I did. Shove out the bot waves here. This is gonna hold someone trapped down here bot lane, which means that my teammates should have a numbers advantage. It is Sylas that I'm holding though, which I'm not too excited about. I would love to hold someone else, but in the meantime, let's just grab these minions. We want to continue accelerating, right? Like we want to move towards death cap now, ideally. And I'm just gonna keep pushing out bot lane. And then once I get my ult up again, then maybe we can look to do something. But you don't actually get that much cooldown reduction with this build. Okay, Mordekaiser is running bot. Maybe I can go trap some bushes here. And Sylas is here. We can clear this with a pink ward. And then we're potentially holding 2 people here. Let's clear this as well. Can maybe look to flank mid lane here. That doesn't look too useful to me. Maybe I just keep pushing out bot lane, 1v1 the Kai'Sa. Call it a day. Seems good to me. Well, that clips her. She should just die here. She doesn't. For some reason she is extremely fast, but that's okay. We can keep pushing out bot lane. Keep applying pressure. E and ult kills her. She doesn't have flash, she doesn't have barrier. E and ult, she dies. Back off. Press W to make sure that that tanks minions. Use my Q to get more W stacks. And then maybe I can get my W off before the enemy tower starts killing my minions. Which you can see why Malzahar is such a threat in the side lane. Because he doesn't really need that much of a wave to start one-shotting things. Yone is up now, so let's just leave. My goal is never to try to beat the Yone in the 1v1. I'm just going to completely avoid him. So he's going to go defend bot lane here. But that's okay because I got to push out the entire wave and take the tower. So now he's going to be kind of worried about what's happening there. I'm going to take the enemy wraiths here as well while I'm at it. That's a teleport coming in. Who is that? That is Mordekaiser. Well, let's run away then, shall we? Is he chasing me? Or who's he chasing? He's chasing Aurora. Well, let's just base then. Don't. And now it's going to keep going after me, I think. That's okay. I'll take my base here. Oh, my Zed is trying to 1v1 the Yone. Not trying to. Succeeding. Get Death Cap next. I could go Void Staff here as well. Void Staff is not bad. But I like Death Cap a lot more. It gives me the potential to one-shot Mordekaiser and Sylas. And then I'm just going to make sure that I don't ult the Yone or the Graves because they have magic resist. I'm going to continue split pushing, by the way. Name of the game on Malzahar, collect resources. The way you do that, you split push. If my teammates are losing, then they're losing. Then I'll TP to them. But you need to get to your items as quickly as possible so you can carry the game. Now, I am at my spike here, so I'm going to be a little bit more inclined to group with my teammates. But the way to split the enemy team apart is literally just by split pushing. Like, I'm going to force someone to come up here, and that's going to allow us to create a numbers advantage on the map eventually. And if not, then I'll just take a free tower top lane. Now, Yone is going to run up here, so we need to be a little bit aware of that. I do want to take this tower, though, before anything happens, and just leave. That should be a free tower. We can still one-shot the wave. Now we can run mid lane and kill the wave. And that means we're going to keep applying pressure. So go mid lane, shove out this wave now as well. And Yone is still left covering top lane. And now I get to push out this mid wave. And now I can consider maybe even going back to top lane and continue pushing out top lane. And the Yone is going to be, like, he's always going to be one step behind. I'm very surprised he didn't go mid lane there. Okay. He went to bot lane instead. That's okay. We'll be top lane, keep pushing out the wave. You can see now we have a death cap. Push out that tower. Maybe even take the Gromp here. Although it looks like we are doing Drake, so maybe I should consider that. But Drake looks pretty guaranteed to me. The enemy team is dead. So I don't think anyone can contest that. I do have Death Cap here as well. But I do want to actually shove out one more wave because I see 5 champions on the map. So I want to keep applying pressure top lane to make sure someone has to come up here to match me before I take my base. Because now, while I'm in base, someone on the enemy team is going to be running top lane, which means I can potentially teleport down here to impact the fight, and we have a 4v5. And you can see the Mordekaiser is trying to reach me here. But now we should be winning on the bot side. Maybe a TP bot. Could also just TP mid lane to force a fight. Look to move into Void Stick next. Nice. I even got an assist, dude, because my E spread to her. That is very funny. Summon my W. Kill the wave. That should create a bounce. You should hope. Now the Graves is going to get chunked out by that bounce, so he's going to have to take a base. I want to run top lane here, shove out this wave, so we can threaten 2 towers at once. So we can threaten this top tower, and we can threaten this mid tower, all at the same time. There we go. Shove this out, then run back to mid lane. Help my Aurora here. Shove this out. Oh, there's a Mordekaiser behind me. Okay. I don't think I win this. He is close to getting one shot. Have to flash that. My Q disappeared because I left his ult. That is funny. I mean, we're just showing up to fights, and now I'm just stronger than the enemy team. Like, I'm the strongest champion in the game at this point. You can see my Samira has 19 kills, and I have more items than her. Now, granted, some of my items are a little bit cheaper, but it's a death cap there, man. My Zed, 12 kills, I have more items than him. I have more gold than everyone in the game. Why? Because I'm actually getting minions. That's what matters. And the enemy team has a hard time accelerating the game, because they don't have push anywhere. So the only way they can win is by fighting. And they have to win the fight. And if they lose the fight, well, then they double lose. And if they win the fight, it's even difficult for them to get objectives. That's why pushing is so important. It makes it difficult for the enemy team to do anything. So eventually you just win. The Yone didn't get to impact this game. And I just accelerated. Now you might say, didn't your teammates carry you? You could argue that. Sure. But I was there to make sure that the Yone didn't do anything in this game. And I had highest gold in the game. Even though I wasn't really in fights. And I almost had highest damage in the game as well. Despite the fact that I was barely fighting. Why did I have highest damage? Because of gold. That's what matters. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See ya. Bye, bye, bye. Well, we're back on the Rift on Aurelion Sol. So, as I explained earlier, these are the runes that we're going to be taking. And the reason being is very simply that Aurelion Sol does not want cooldown reduction. He does not really spam spells that frequently. Your main spell is your Q, which has no cooldown at level 9, right? So there's no real reason to get cooldown reduction because you don't care about your W cooldown because that's a reset regardless, and you're not really spamming W. E is the only reason you would build cooldown reduction, but if you're building cooldown reduction to get one spell better, then it's kind of a useless stat, right? So the main thing that I want to keep an eye out for this game is I am playing against Ekko, so there is going to be a lot of upfront fighting, which is okay. That's fine. Aurelion Sol likes upfront fighting because every single time you smack him and you get that little energy burst, you get 2 stacks. So that's what we care about. I'm going to start with Q. The reason being is you can do little Q taps on the enemy laner, which means that you can proc your Scorch and your Mana Flow and your Comet, which just lets you take a little bit of control early in the laning phase. So I'm going to Q-tap and then back off. You can see that just does 40 damage to the enemy Ekko. Awesome. Play on the side of the lane. Slap the minions. Slap the Ekko a little bit. I'm not going to try to do anything crazy here. I want to make this quite realistic. And Ekko, the way that this is going to work is he's just going to shove me under tower. And there's not really a whole lot that I can do. Aurelion Sol, notoriously a very, very slow champion. Very, very weak during the early stages. So just sit back and play for last hits. That's all you care about. And you can do a little Q-tap. And then just back off, and then wait. And I promise you, Ekko is going to slap the wave some more, then he's going to hit level 2, and he's going to try to jump on me. That is okay. I will trade back with him, and then back off. Massively losing trade. That's okay. Just be patient, sit back, let the Ekko do whatever he wants to. Can play for Q-taps when he goes for minions, so Q-tap like that. Barely out of range, sadly. That seemed a bit crazy, was it not? I mean, it worked. I'm shocked he didn't tank a tower shot, though. Need to pop another potion, otherwise I can die here. Name of the game on Aurelion Sol is just don't die early. I am ahead in CS, and I am running Teleport, and he's running Ignite, so we need to be aware of that. There's a chance that I can get a base on him and kind of make things a bit awkward. Probably just point in W here. Let's not overthink it. The wave is going to bounce away. This Ekko is playing very, very well. Like, I'm very surprised at how well he's playing. Because now the wave is going to get stuck for me, which is going to suck a lot. I'm trying to bait him to jump in and then outspace him. I think I just need to take my base. Place down my E. Let's see if I can't get a cannon minion. Probably not. Barely out of range. That sucks. Not a whole lot I can do about that. I realistically speaking don't want this gank. I don't think it works that well. Yeah, I can go in. Because I will hit a level up. But the intention here is never for me to try to kill the Ekko. It's just to get the wave in. But now my Lee Sin is leaving, which is kind of annoying. So I need to leave now as well and just accept that the wave is in a very bad spot here. I was kind of hoping that my Lee Sin would help me crash here and just get me out of this spot in the lane. Seems that's not happening, so I'm just going to take my base, pick up a Ruby Crystal, and then TP back to the lane with a refillable as well. So let's do this. Refillable. The reason for the Ruby Crystal is first item is going to be Rylai's, and you want to be as tanky as possible, especially against these matchups where people are just constantly jumping on you, right? Now the name of the game is going to be, can I stop the Ekko from basing? Because if I can, then he is in a very, very ugly spot in the laning phase because he's half health with no teleport. So I probably need to step up quite aggressively here to try to stop him from getting these minions for free. Problem being is he can just press W and then get kind of priority on demand. This seems a bit bad by him. I can jump in here, not really because I want to trade necessarily, but actually I think he can die here. Very close. The reason I wanted to W in there was not necessarily to try to kill him, it was just to go for a big trade, and then if he jumps away, that's all good, then he has to run a really, really strange pathing to try to not die in the lane, right? Or to try to not die and try to get a base off. I'm just going to push out this wave and then take my base. Looks like my entire team is losing, so that's going to be fun. We are up 9 CS, and we took his flash in the isolated 1v1, which is great. Again, Aurelion Sol kind of sucks early, so if you can get a CS advantage in lane, oh my days, you're doing God's work, even if you have to use your teleport for it. W over my Nexus here, just to get back to lane a little bit faster. And Ekko is just going to continue pushing waves and probably try roaming around the map, and there's not going to be a whole lot I can do about it. Usually it would be my job to try to bait the Ekko to trade with me to stop him from just getting free push. But I honestly think I just kind of want to let him get free push and then see what my teammates are going to do and see if he can accelerate the game. I'm just going to sit back and do some Q taps. Damn, that sucks. Yeah. He's going to jump on me. I'm going to run away. But this means he's not pushing the wave, which is great for me. Just going to pop down an E. That was probably a really bad E now that I'm thinking about it. I should be using that to get stacks, not to get Comet procs. Q-tap, run away. Yeah, these minions are kind of awkward now. Just move around a little bit. Don't want to use my E for 2 minions. I don't think that's worth it. Now I have my ult. So generally speaking, whenever you're playing Aurelion Sol, when you have your ult, you just want to get it off as quickly as possible. Because it gives you stacks when you hit an enemy champion with it. So I just want to try to get the Ekko to jump on me and then just blast an ult on his forehead. That would be my goal here. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to ult and then Q, take a winning trade, and then run away. Like, this is all good by me. I get a ton of stacks. I get to take a winning trade. Doesn't matter that I lose my ult. That's fine. The problem being is I am running out of mana here. So the Ekko is just going to be able to push in the wave without really having to worry too much about it. But that's okay. He's not pressuring the map, which is all that matters. When you're playing against these sorts of champions that love roaming, all that matters is they're not pressuring the map. He doesn't have mana here to kill me either, so this is okay. My concern is if he levels up, he'll have mana. I'm just going to pop my E down. Get some stacks. Oh, he had mana. Oh, misplay on my part. For some reason, I didn't think he had mana, but obviously he had mana. Just complete misplay on my part. Like, that's all I can say. Complete misplay. This is a bit crazy. He should be scared of a Lee Sin gank, realistically speaking. Like, this is a bit odd to me that he goes for this, but unpunished. There's no way he goes for this wave as well, right? Oh, he is gonna go for this wave as well. Okay, I mean, he's being incredibly greedy here. He could die to Lee Sin very easily. But so it goes. Sometimes you get solo killed. That's tough. I think I could have killed him there as well. Realistically speaking. I'm just gonna pretend it was intentional that I died, and then we'll say, yeah, man, it was to give Ekko an advantage in the lane. Not at all. It was just a flat-out misplay on my part, which is okay. Happens quite frequently whenever I play Aurelion Sol. I tend to be a little bit more aggressive than you can. Or try to push my limits a little bit further than I should. To try to stop the enemy champion from having as much pressure in the laning phase. But that's okay. I'm still up CS. We're going to go for a ward with this newfound pressure that we have. See if I can get a ward on the enemy bot side. That's awesome. Ekko's going to come back to mid lane. That's fine by me. I have my items fully procced. Or not my items, my runes fully procced. He's probably going to show up on this wave, but I do want to see if I can push out this wave before he comes to stop me and then just run away. That's fine by me. He's gonna push the wave. Gonna just Q to push it out. There we go. And then leave. Graves is on the bot side here. I don't really know if there's a whole lot I can do about this. I'm actually okay with the trade here. Because I have teleport. Probably should have ulted, realistically speaking, just because I would have wanted my extra stacks here. But he's just gonna push out the wave here. Not a lot I can do. I'm shocked that he's gonna try to play for trades. That seems like a bit of an error. I would definitely just be using this pressure too. Yeah, okay. Get my stacks. I mean, you're not diving me, so what are we doing here? The problem with Ekko playing like this is he is not impacting the map at all. Now, he doesn't need to impact the map because his teammates are winning, so... there's that. I need to look to take my base here. The problem is I just barely don't have enough gold and I don't have enough mana. You might be wondering why I'm going this build as well. I did explain earlier, but the reason being is this allows you to just skip a mana item when you head into the mid game, which is awesome for Aurelion Sol. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna suck, isn't it? Oh, not enough mana. Oh, well, base here. Oh, he's gonna cancel my base. This guy does not look like a gold player necessarily, but maybe he's just unfathomably good. Gonna take my base here, teleport back, sell my refillable. Probably didn't need to sell my refillable actually, but now I've committed to this decision. I can go on him here. I think he dies. Okay, we take his flash yet again. Need to take my wave here and then see if I can cancel him, because if I can get a cancel on him here, then that's massive. Yep, awesome. Now we can stem the bleeding a little bit. I mean, I'm just gonna walk up and Q you. Yep. And now I'm gonna shove out this wave, and then I can probably take one plate and then go for my base. Push out the wave. Make sure that I get stacks. Make sure that I get the minions. Then take one plate, take my base, get a Rylai's, and then... The lane is looking okay. Could be better, could be worse. Go for a ward here. That ward is just gonna allow me to see if Ekko roams anywhere after he comes back to lane, because he will have one wave of priority. Oh, that ward was within vision. Don't cancel my base, man. Don't be weird. Okay, get my Rylai's, run back to lane. Ekko still beats me in trades, to be very clear. So he's probably going to take this plate. I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about it. Like, I can W back to lane, but he just takes it too early. He did just waste his E, so maybe I can land a big trade on him. I actually don't mind just popping an ult. Really? You don't ult there and you don't die? Oh, okay. Really? Okay. Yeah, I mean, sure. You got bailed out and then you did that. I'm just gonna push out the wave. Yeah, as you can see, like on Aurelion Sol, as soon as Rylai's gets completed, mon ami, it's a completely different champion. You just slap everyone. Yeah, I have no real intention of trying to follow for a roam here. On this champion, it's very important that you just play for your stacks, get as many stacks as possible, and then get the 2 items, and that's when you're strong. Before that, you don't really get to impact the game. Before that, it's all stem bleeding situation in the laning phase especially. But we now have our rank 3 Q, so we can just pop all these minions. Take our base, because I have absolutely no mana. So if enemy team wants this bot side, then they can get that. Maybe I wouldn't recommend this build at the lower end of the ladder. Actually, I'm kind of thinking about it. Feels like you run out of mana quite easily. Which, I mean, get better at mana management then, but Aurelion Sol's at the lower end of the ladder, loves spamming spells. So, makes sense to me. Just gonna pick up my stacks here. Well, it looks like that's a bot dive happening. Get my stacks. Maybe I can run down and help. Wow, they are really blasting our bot lane with dives. Maybe I can roam here. Ekko is there too. Oh my days. I mean, I will run in. W in. They see me, but I don't know if they're really reacting. Lunara dies. Can maybe kill the Nico as well. Save my W and then W on her. Nice. Save the tower. Can maybe go for this wave. Ekko's gonna stay down here as well. He has Lich Bane, so he is quite strong. He shoves the wave out quicker than I do as well. I'm just gonna pop an E down and then just start blasting Q. I can just stand still and slap him with Qs. Problem being is he's gonna ult and then kill me. My Q bugged! What? My Q bugged! I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, but it's still bugged. Okay, so the way this interaction works is... Okay, I'm playing it out in my head. I need to get Ekko to jump on me. Q, he's gonna W. I need to W away. And then I'll probably win the trade. And then his ult can't deal damage to me. Because the only reason I died there was because of his ult, right? If he didn't have that additional damage from his ult, I would have survived with no problem. And I would have killed him. I just honestly thought my DPS would be enough to a point where if I can slap him for 5 seconds while he slaps me back, he's dead. But clearly not the case. So I need to kind of think about that, I guess. But on Aurelion Sol, like, the answer to a lot of these fights, or a lot of these situations against enemy champions that dive on you, is just to stand still and Q them once you get your first item. Because you out DPS them a lot of the time. We're bleeding quite heavily here. Again, my intention is just to push out the wave. And then see if I can do something. Looks like we have a bot lane situation happening here. So let's see if we can try to salvage whatever is going on here. You are going in a bit early, I must say. But maybe it's okay. Look for Graves first. Okay, he dies. Look for Nico next. She wasted utility. It's this one. Okay. Wait, it wasn't that one. That sucks. Well, we got our stacks. Let's run back to mid lane and keep pushing out the wave. This is a very, very chaotic game. Teammates are all bleeding. Q this guy in the forehead. Q him again. And then E the wave. Push it out. Miss the cannon minion. Classic. Do want to take my base quite soon because I have Liandris and that's going to be a massive spike for me. Generally speaking, I want to get my ult off on the Ekko. I actually don't mind giving him this. Then just press R. Yeah. Whoa. That ult is a bit ambitious. The reason I don't mind just ulting that is because I'm going to take my base anyway, so my health doesn't really matter. Like, if you think about it, my health doesn't matter. And my cooldowns don't matter because I'm going to be basing anyway. So I'd much rather have my ult being on cooldown while I am in base. Okay, looks like my Caitlyn is going to be defending mid lane, so I will run bot lane. I now have my 2 items. Bloodletter's Curse is probably unnecessary because my team does not have a lot of magic damage. I'm basically the only magic damage dealer. So probably just want to run into a death cap next, to be honest, just for maximum damage. If I had a magic damage dealer on my team, then Bloodletter's Curse is awesome because you can apply it quite quickly with your E and your Q and also with your empowered ult. I should be beating this guy in an isolated 1v1. So if he steps up, I'm just going to W on him. And I should win that. I mean, this should be massively winning for me. Yeah, Aurelion Sol against any short range champ. Yeah, Aurelion Sol just beats most champions in the 1v1 in terms of, like, if they don't have the mobility to maneuver around you, and if they don't have the range and the mobility to kite you, and like DPS you, you can just get onto them and you'll win the 1v1. And winning these 1v1s in side lane is incredibly, incredibly important. Because this is how you're going to buy yourself time in the game. Because look, now the enemy team has to be a bit worried about pressuring mid lane here because their bot laner is dead and I'm applying pressure bot side here. So it's going to drag the enemy team apart. Now, they might still go for a dive here. I think that would be correct by them. But at least they're going to bleed resources in the bot lane while they're doing it. Yeah, I mean, I have to take my base here. And you can see, I think Ekko is running bot lane to defend the tower. And I'm going to take my base. Probably TP mid lane here. Doesn't sound terrible. Just because there is a big-ass fight. So let's teleport mid lane here. Looks like there's a very big committal here. He's going to ult. I'm going to ult here on the Jace. He dies. Awesome. Graves is here. I can kill the Graves. My W angle is not great, but he's trying to kill me. He doesn't understand that I'm playing Aurelion Sol. Like, I beat any DPS champion. Like, I just beat them. I just out-DPS everyone. Okay, we win the bot lane fight. I'm not needed mid lane anymore, so I'm just going to run instantly to the bot lane to pick up waves here. I want to get minions as quickly as possible. Going to just W down here and then apply pressure to this tower. It's all about getting resources on Aurelion Sol. That's all you care about. All you care about is get your stacks, get your waves, get to your spikes, and then start playing the game. You don't care about objectives unless it is to prolong the game and make sure that you can get to your strong points faster. Like, that's all you care about. Now, Jace could TP bot lane here. I would imagine he isn't going to, but he might. I would love the next wave here, but this is unfathomably greedy. But I will do it regardless. Take this wave, take my base. Just W away, that's okay. Take this flower. Oh, take another flower. And then take my base. Get to spend my gold. Need to think about how we can prolong this game. I want to look for an angle where I can use my big ult. It's probably going to be on this Drake. I think Sweeper makes a lot of sense alongside a pink ward, because if I can find an angle where I can get onto any of the enemy backline champions, then I do just one-shot them. Like, I just murder them. Maybe open through mid lane here is not bad. Mostly just because Drake is going to be happening soon, and I think Jace is opening through mid lane, meaning that there's very likely going to be a fight here. So I could open through here and just W in, realistically speaking. I think that could work. I'm very down for this fight, because I am unfathomably strong. Look, like, I am just so strong. And then we leverage that strength into a big fight. And the enemy has no CC and no way of getting me off of them. And again, same thing as previously, right? The fight is over, bot lane. That's where I can get minions. So I can help you with the Drake a little bit, but I actually don't care too much about the dragon. Only dragon I care about is myself. So then push out bot lane here. Keep applying pressure. Push out the next wave as well. Check bushes with a little Q-tap just to make sure no one is hiding there. It's a very short cooldown anyway, so you might as well. Your comet proc will go off if someone is in the bush, so just use that as a little check tool. Make sure you're not face checking into anyone. Then push out this wave. I have no intention of trying to take this tower. I just want to apply You should not be able to beat me, realistically speaking. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. You like the way I press Q on you? Yeah, that's what I thought. 2 items, Aurelion Sol. Doesn't matter who you are. I'm gonna press Q on you and you're gonna die. You can be a 2-item Graves. I don't care. I'll press Q on you and you'll die. Gonna take my base here. Grab another large rod. Open through bot lane here because the Ekko is opening through bot lane. Oh, actually my Caitlyn is opening through bot lane. Guess I'll open through mid lane then. Bit of a mistake on her part. I think she should not be trying to match the Ekko, because the Ekko can very, very easily kill her. But if she wants to do that, then sure, I'll open through mid lane. I can probably 1v2 the enemy bot lane as well, if I flash the Nico ult. So let's try to go for this play. Hello, buddy. No intention of trying to kill you here. Ooh. No spells, so I need to run away. Maybe I can catch the Jace up here. I mean, I could ult, but I don't really want to. I'm just gonna Q-tap once. Maybe that's enough. I could big ult here. Seems a bit overkill, though. Maybe I can find the Yunara, actually. Ah! What? Ah! Minimap movement! Oh, no. Well, I found the Yunara. There we go. Hit the Ekko as well. Okay. Just a cross-map triple kill. That's not what I was looking for. Again, resources. Where can I get them? Well, my Nami is mid lane, and no one else is collecting mid resources, so I can actually take the mid wave here. If my Caitlyn was mid lane here collecting waves, then I would be running bot lane or top lane. Probably still should be running bot lane or top lane, actually, at some point here, just because the waves are coming into us. But let's just push out this wave. Oh, you're doing Atakan, huh? Oh, that's a Nico. I was wondering why that minion was so late. I can still get stacks off your clone, though, buddy. So let me do that. Run down to the Atakan, I guess. Oh. I don't know. I can kill the Jace here. Yep. Okay, the exhaust is maybe a bit unnecessary, buddy, but I get it. Push out the next mid wave. I want to get it back to my big ult as quickly as possible. The way to do that, just push out the wave here. Just pop an E down and then run away. Yeah, you don't win this, buddy. Oh, I should have not taken my hands off my keyboard and she would have died. But that's okay. And you can see, like, once you get to this late game stage, you actually don't have mana issues. It's only in the laning phase that you really find yourself having mana issues with this setup. Void Stick seems reasonable. They're probably going to start stacking magic resist soon. No one is bot lane, so I will run bot lane to make sure that the Ekko does not get a free tier 2 here. We still have to be quite careful here, because everyone on my team is weaker than their counterpart. So the game is still losable. Like, I am the only strong champion on my team. Again, keep chasing the Ekko. Probably pop an ult in his forehead. Flash. Okay. I was expecting that flash, but I saw no other way of killing him. Because my W was about to run out. Could ult up here or TP up here. It's a big fight. Looks not terrible. I could TP here and then flank them. But instead, let's just play it safe, play it slow, get our minions on the bot side here. But you can see, like, my team will lose without me. Like, most situations. Okay, never mind. My Lee Sin is just the best player to ever do it. He just 1v3'd. What? That's crazy. Again, check the bush with a Q, just to make absolutely sure no one is here. Sweeper is not great here. Should not have used it. Then push out the wave. And then, okay, I see everyone but the Yunara in the top lane fight. That means no one can be down here to stop me on this tower. So let me just slap this tower. They're probably going to look for a mid play here. That's okay. I think I can take this tower before anyone comes down here. So if we bleed a mid lane tier 1 for a bot lane tier 2, I think that's worth it. Ekko could run down here as well. So we need to think about that. Maybe I need to run away here to not give over a bounty. So let's just go W away. Man, this W range is absolutely absurd once you get to this point. It's crazy. I mean, it stacks with your stacks, so that's why. Again, I think Void Stick, again, that's going to be the highest amount of damage you can give yourself. Or TP flank here, maybe? This TP is very, very far. Should have TP'd here. I was expecting the fight to go away. And they also see me. But my W range is massive. I think I can just W in here. I mean, my W kind of sucks. But maybe it's okay. Big combo. Okay, yeah, I mean, they're just all dead. Okay. Okay, buddy. Okay, man. Okay, they're all dead. Yeah, we could do Drake, or we could just shove out mid lane for a free tower. My Caitlyn wants the minions, that's okay. You can have them. I'm full build anyway. It's W here. And just take the Drake. My Caitlyn should have taken the mid tower here. The beauty of Aurelion Sol. Once you get late game, you just hold your Q like this, and it's all chill. Take my base. Look for Void Stick. Probably Death Cap, or not Death Cap, what am I saying? Hourglass. Enemy team has a lot of dive that can get on top of me, so I think Hourglass makes a lot of sense. Could also go Banshees, but regardless, it's going to be a defensive item at this point. Because I have enough damage to murder everyone. Realistically speaking, I didn't need a Void Staff either. I could have just gone a defensive item. I'm just anticipating that they're going to see 16 and 2 Aurelion Sol, who's killing everyone, and be like, magic resistance is the answer. So I'm prepared for that, and the way I'm preparing for it is just by stacking magic penetration now. Probably unnecessary. Okay, you can die here. Yeah, and you're dead. Okay, let's collect some more. Oh, I am dead here. I didn't see Graves was on me. That's my bad. Yeah, he one-shots me. He's now. I think it's gotten to a point now where Graves kills me before I kill him. Because he has gotten a ton of upfront damage now. His main problem is obviously he doesn't have range to do it. But I can't kite him very well. If he gets on top of me, I think he beats me. Ooh, yikes. Jesus. You're 2 items and you just one-tapped him. This seems crazy to me. Like, my Lee Sin has not bought an item in like 10 minutes, it feels like, and he's killing everyone. I'm so confused. But so it goes, I guess. Open through mid lane here seems good. Could open through bot lane here as well, and then just try to play for a ton of bot side pressure and then take over the enemy jungle on the bot side. But mid lane, I think, just makes more sense, because then I can push out mid lane and look to extend out onto the map, and I can also get into either side of the jungle if I push out mid lane first. I have my big ult available as well, so pretty good chance that I can one-tap anyone in the game here with that ult. Most people think your big ult is just like for the big AoE afterwards, like the big shield, not shield, the big like splash outwards, but it actually does increase the center damage by quite a lot as well. Good ult on him here. Okay, looks like my Yasuo just ulted him. Okay. Bomba! Good night. Yeah, it's a ton of damage. Look. 1,000 damage, and then you have the additional in the middle. Go on him. I might die here, but that's okay, because as long as the enemy team dies here, we can end the game. Oh, and that's a penta. Nice. That should be the game. That was why I was willing to die, because I figured that we'd be able to end off of it. This was a very tough early game. Usually whenever I play Aurelion Sol, I feel like it's always a game where I just get solo killed in lane. Like, I feel like every game I've played Aurelion Sol, whether it's been for skill capped or my own channel, I feel like I get solo killed in lane. Like, it's so odd. I think I just need to be more defensive. But in my head, it's like, Aurelion Sol, you need to kind of stop the enemy laner from taking over the map. Like, that's the best way to win, is to make sure that you can actually get to that point without the enemy laner snowballing too hard. Because you can see, right, like you saw, as soon as I got Rylai's, and as soon as I got Liandry's, it's over. That's all I need. I can kill everyone. So the faster I can get that, and the more stable the game is by the time I get that, the better, obviously. Of course, like, if I get Rylai's, Liandry's, and everyone else in the game is on 3 items, it's gonna be a tough one, right? I think open mid lane here. I mean, it should just be game over. We can just go down mid lane and then end the game if we want to. We can also just take Baron and then end the game. We have plenty of options. The thing that matters most is that I don't go mid lane and kill myself here and extend the game. So let's make sure we don't do that. Let's just push out mid wave, then go sweep the jungle. Q tap, make sure no one's here. Oh, there is someone there. Let's W on them. I can just pop my ult here. Patience, kite. And then we can kill him. And they should just be dead. Can go on this guy as well. Dead too. Ekko's here too. I have Hourglass in case he wants to jump on me. Looks like he doesn't. That's okay. Let's go top lane then. Push out the wave. Get our stacks. Baron should be guaranteed. You want to play Drake? Feels unnecessary. Feels like we could just end the game here. But okay. I'll play with my Nami on the top side then. Look for tower. Oh, I'm tanking it. Whoops. Maybe should keep my E available here just to be annoying to the Ekko, but it's okay. Slap the tower a little bit. Can just end the game here. Should be game over. Yeah, there we go. I mean, a clean carry. Outside of the horrible early game. Like, again, you'll see, this game was... It was knife's edge, man. Like, bot lane, we're getting blasted. Like, horribly blasted. It's one of those games where you kind of have to just realize that if you don't impact the map, the game is over. Simple as. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Well, 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 you guys know the drill. We're playing Morgana mid, and we're not gonna be doing anything fancy in the laning phase. So the way Morgana works is... during the first few levels, you're quite weak, especially if you're playing against ranged champions or some of the melee champions that can get on top of you. So be very aware of that. Your breakpoint for when your W is going to start one-shotting waves is level 5. So until then, not a whole lot you can do in the lane. You just kind of need to CS safely, push as much as possible, and avoid dying. And then you're good. Then when you hit levels 5, that's when your champion gets very obnoxious, right? We are against the Nasus. Enemy team comp is also quite odd. Nasus mid lane might be a bit rough for me. I would imagine it might not be easy. Although he is playing AP, so I have a sneaking suspicion that we're both just going to be shoving in the waves and then scaling. My Garen has decided to kill himself on the top side here, so that's not exactly ideal. He's just fully AFK. No, I respect that so much. And Nasus gets the first blood. We're in for a fun one, eh? I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Take W level 1. We're just gonna immediately start shoving the wave. Morgana does not need to think about wave control or anything like that. You just push waves. You just press W once these minions line up and then call it a day. And try to practice last hitting with your W because it can be a little bit awkward at times. You can see here I'm going to lose a minion because of how that was lined up. Now here I could be harassing the Nasus quite a lot with auto attacks, but you know the drill. We're not going to be trying to do anything crazy. We're just going to push the waves. I want to W him here just so I can get a mana flow band proc. Now I want to use the priority that I have in mid lane to go for a ward on the bot side. This ward is just mostly going to be to keep me safe from a potential Xin Zhao gank. And I'm just going to continue spamming my W on the wave. And the main thing to be aware of is Morgana does run out of mana very quickly during the early stages, so be a little bit aware of that. Try to manage your mana as much as possible. Again, Nasus is going to walk up and try to slap me. I'm just going to W the wave and then walk away. Now this might be a pretty rough matchup because Nasus can just out-heal my harass, I think. Well, I mean, I need to harass him here. I need to just auto him when he goes for minions and when he steps up really far into me. But I'm still just going to press W on the wave. And then step back and go for my last hits. We're about to hit level 3, which is a pretty important point on Morgana. You're going to be doing double points in W here, just so you can push a little bit faster. Try to last hit with my W there. This allows you to push faster, and it also allows you to kill caster minions with 2 Qs, which you previously couldn't do. So Nasus is taking a lot of harass. You know, when he took Comet, I was kind of expecting him to play Emax and kind of the pushing variation of Nasus, but seems like this guy just wants to stack. You should not be stacking on this variation of Nasus. We're just gonna keep pushing the wave, press RW. You usually don't need your shield during the early stages unless you're afraid of a gank. You can see we can now push out the wave very, very quickly and very easily. So let's shove that out. Take a point in black shield. And we're just gonna continue pushing waves. On Morgana, you need to start thinking about when you need to base when you get around 120, 140 mana. That's when you should start thinking, okay, maybe I need to shove out this next wave and take a base. You can see we haven't reached that point yet, so we're completely fine just continuing to press W. Try to, if you can, practice getting your W on all the minions, all the caster minions. Oh wow, I missed some CS there. I tried to go for a CS that I knew was lost, and then I lost another CS because of that. That's okay. I mean, great example of my team is losing, I'm playing against a scaling champion mid lane, and I'm not beating him in lane. So, this should be a very good example of the games that Morgana can carry quite easily. Going to just W the wave, step back, wait, not gonna do anything crazy. Go for my last hits here. This is gonna be a bit awkward. I might have to Q, which is okay. Then just W the wave, step back. Now we have level 5, so now you're going to start seeing the breakpoint really matter. Now my W is going to one-shot caster minions, so we can one-shot the wave a lot more easily. Look for a roam here, potentially. I don't think this roam looks very good. Nah, I'm just going to walk back to mid lane. I'm not going to give up any resources mid lane for any reason. I'm just going to sit mid lane and push the wave. And Nasus is just smiling because he's farming as well. So we're both just chilling. You don't need to beat Nasus super hard during the early game. The point where he falls off comes a little bit later. Shove out the wave, take my base here. I have enough gold for a lost chapter, and remember, when you get to around 120 mana, that's when you should consider whether or not you need to base. I have enough mana for a lost chapter by selling my potions, so that's what I'm gonna do. You generate 8 gold while you teleport back, so I can instantly teleport back to the lane and keep shoving it out with W. And we're gonna be running Blackfire Torch, first item. Gonna Q this wave to last hit it, and then just W the wave. And then I can just auto this minion a bit, and then leave the lane. I could actually solo kill him here. A flash alt QW kills him. Morgana can kill enemy laners very, very easily. But we will not be doing that. I want to showcase how obnoxious she can be just by pushing the wave, not necessarily by going for solo kills. But she does have very, very high kill thresholds. Usually if you land a bind on someone, you can just one-tap them. Shove out the wave, take my leave. I could also go for a plate here, but I like the idea of just permanently leaving more. I don't know if bot lane is really possible to gank here. There's not a blasting cone available, and the enemy bot lane's sitting quite far back. Oh, looks like... oh, this is a great bait. This works really well. Look for the Pantheon. Think ult on her makes sense. Now we made our own work. Yeah, the only reason that worked is because of the Nico's bait. I can't clear this pink ward. I need to immediately come back to mid lane because I'm bleeding minions as this is happening. But you notice, like, as I'm running down there, I'm constantly thinking about, do I need to stop roaming here? I'm also not going to help my Volibear with Drake. Like, I'm going to be bleeding resources for that. I don't want to do that. I want to get back to mid lane and continue collecting resources. And if you get contested, well, so it goes. Then maybe I'll move. But I did my job. My job was kill the enemy bot lane. And now I need to make sure that I don't bleed. Because I gave up minions for that roam. So I need to make sure that I don't lose resources for it as well. Look for a Q on the Nasus. QW. This harass doesn't mean anything. Nasus is just going to heal it up anyway. But, you know, I want to showcase how much damage Morgana does when you hit a Q. Gonna ward here on the top side because we know Xin is here. I want to start thinking about a base as well. I ideally want a base on Blackfire Torch. Okay. He just warded the bush. He absolutely baited me out. That's okay. We're just going to continue pushing the wave. And he will continue stacking. And then see you at late game, buddy. Shove out the wave. I could look for a plate here. If I get a plate, that would be great. Because then I can base for my Blackfire Torch. I could also just base. Just get this wave, then base. Then I get my Blackfire Torch. See if I can snipe him with a Q. Okay, he does not dodge backwards. Good to know. He just keeps running in a straight line. Just W the wave. And I mean, this is the strength of Morgana, right? Very non-interactive, very, very simple style of play. Just push the waves, press Q, and then keep pushing waves and go for your roams. I'm going to take my base here. This guy is playing Q-Max when he's playing Comet Nasus. It feels like a bit of a mistake. Usually you play E-Max. Gonna grab a pink ward here because we're gonna start roaming a lot more. So I want to have at least one lane bush cleared so I can roam a lot more easily. Bot lane is still losing. I need to maybe help my top lane. Bot lane is not gonna carry, I don't think. Although it is a misfortune, so she does a good job. I'm just concerned because they're just like, they're gonna, like, I feel like they're gonna lose no matter how far ahead I get them. We have our Blackfire Torch now. And can you guess what the game plan is? Yeah, that's right. We're going to just continue pushing the waves. Damn straight. We're not going to change anything. So maybe I should try to kill the enemy Teemo. Because if Garen gets ahead, I feel like he can carry. Okay. So I have been Nasus W'd. That's okay. I'll just push the wave anyway. Q this minion. Take my leave. Gonna run topside. Is Teemo dead? Very unlikely, isn't it? But I can kind of stop the Nasus from roaming here. Fire a Q on his forehead. I don't think there's any value in me trying to roam up here, so I'm just going to run back to the mid lane and continue pushing out the waves. I don't think I make it up there anyway. He's going to try to maybe W me? No. The thing is, I have to predict the Nasus W. That's kind of my concern here. Just one-shot the wave. You can see how much damage you do with Blackfire Torch. It is quite insane. How is bot lane looking? And they might be killable over the wall. There is a blast cone here as well. Yeah, this dive definitely looks possible. If there wasn't a blast cone, I would not play for this at all. But I think I can just... That's awkward. But maybe I can double kill them here, actually. Ah, he just hit a level up. I think maybe if I just... that sucks. Is this playable? I think it is. Well, they went forward. I mean, I just need to press W on her and then she dies, right? Yeah. I am bleeding a lot mid lane here for this. So it might not be great. Gonna just take my leave. Yeah, I lose a lot of resources mid lane for that. I thought that play could be cleaner, but then Nasus or Pantheon showed up. Maybe I should have just one-shot the Pantheon. I think if I run at him, ult, then he just dies. Oh, please don't die after I roamed down here, man. I roamed down there to relieve you, and then you instantly just die to the enemy jungler, and he loses, like, what, grubs for it? Who cares? I'm very tempted to just run at this guy. I think I can kill him. I think I can at least deal a ton of damage. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll trade the ults here. But look, like Morgana, she does a lot of damage, man. Look, he was solo killed there. Like, Morgana, she does a lot of damage with that W, man. It's very misleading. Gonna instantly try to shove out this wave and then take a plate. Maybe even take my base. I'm looking at the minimap now, trying to see where the enemy Pantheon is. But I wanted to showcase, like, if you press E on yourself, ult on the enemy laner, like, you murder them. I need to take my base here as well. Nasus has teleport available, so this can get a little bit awkward. It is the enhanced teleport as well. I don't know if I have time to shove out this wave. It kind of needs to stack up for me to be able to do it properly. There we go. I'm gonna miss a bit. That's okay. Place up my ward here and then take my base. Yeah, I'll miss a few minions there. That's okay. This guy went Spirit Visage first item. I think Magic Pen Boots makes a lot of sense just for most damage. Could also just go Ionian Boots for the CDR. I like the more CDR as well. Mostly because, in my opinion, the way Morgana works is The more bindings you can fire out, the higher of a chance you have of winning the game. And what I mean by that is usually during the mid game, if you hit someone with a binding, they're dead. Like, they will just die. In which case, well, give me more opportunities to fire out a binding, because that's what's going to win me the game. Again, push out mid lane here, and then, I mean, I have no interest in trying to stop the Nasus from doing whatever he's doing here. I'm just going to roam bot lane. Can we get this pink ward cleared, man? I feel like there's been a pink ward there for 5 years. Can we get that? Can we get that looked at? Just gonna press W on my or E on myself so he can't slow me. Morgana moment. Okay. Xin there. I mean, Nasus is gonna start getting a bit concerning to deal with soon. I mean, realistically speaking, I should be playing Oblivion Orb against him, but that sounds boring. That's usually the one champion where I'm like, okay, you can play Oblivion Orb is Nasus. Vladimir is okay as well. Xin Zhao is here. I would love to fight it, but it looks like we just don't want to. In which case, I'm just going to come back to mid lane and push out the wave. Now Nasus is going to have first move. That's okay, because we have triple grubs, so I can kind of force him back to mid lane. Because now he has to be scared about me taking this tower. And then when he comes back to mid lane, then I can run down and contest the Drake. And if he does not come back to mid lane, well then that just means I get to slap this tower for free. Yeah, they're on Drake for sure. I need to be ready for a potential Ashe ult. Are we gonna play that? I think that looks bad, to be honest. Oh, you just went in on your own, man. If you waited, then maybe it was playable. Is this even playable? Nah. Just kite them out. I mean, I got my plate. Oh, you want to play this? No, I don't like the idea of playing this. Maybe I can fish with a bind. I mean, I could maybe flash ult on the Xin Zhao. I think my Misfortune can get a massive play here. She has ult. That guy should die. That guy should die as well. Nice. Come back to mid lane immediately. Push out the next wave and call it a day. Yeah, that play is a little bit more complicated to make because you have to understand the fact that face checking into a Nasus there is probably going to be a bit rough. Like when he immediately moves down to Drake, there's not a lot I can really do in terms of following him, because if he's trapping a bush there and I walk into him, I'm more than likely dead. And you might say, but can't you just E and then face check the bush and then you'll be okay because he can't W me? To which I would say yes, but what if he is good enough to E me and then press Alt to knock off my shield with the magic damage and then W me? Okay, so you're just gonna open mid lane here to take my tower. So I don't really know what that was all about, but honestly, fair enough. I had that tower guaranteed on my own. I'm gonna take my base here because I have a ton of gold. So Horizon Focus was also recently buffed, and I think that's very good on Morgana now. For the same reason as I said before, where, in my opinion, if you just land a Q on someone, you will win the game. So then give yourself as much cooldown reduction and as much ability power as possible, and just fire out a ton of Qs. I know I did a video where I went Liandry's, which will give you more damage, and I think Liandry's is also good this game, because of your W, and it gives you a ton of damage potential in fights. But honestly, I think at the lower end of the ladder, Horizon Focus for maximum haste is great. Like, just play for those binds. Play to fish with those bindings. Don't do anything you don't need to do anything crazy. You don't need to look for flanks. You don't need to flash ult someone. Unnecessary. It does look cool, and you can win fights just doing that, but it's unnecessary. You can't just win the game by pressing Q on enemy champions, and that is it. Since I was here, Nasus is probably soloing Herald, so I'm gonna run down here and see if we can go for a dive. Wow, how did that not hit? I guess Cloud Dragon movement speed. Jesus. That was a bit ambitious. I mean, he's for sure on this. But tower bot lane should be guaranteed. Gonna come mid lane again, just shove out the wave and then leave. Like, I have no interest in staying mid lane. I just want to come back to bot lane and play for a dive. Should try to dive. I need to chunk out this guy a little bit first. I don't mind ulting, actually. Look for the Ashe. Oh, I might have misplayed horribly here. Ah, you have flash. Yeah, I'm dead then. I could have killed the Pantheon there. I could have also just aimed my Q at the Pantheon. I was trying to hit the Ashe so we could go for the 2-man there. But then well played to her that she just flashes on me. I could have also flashed away, but I was alive there if Pantheon didn't flash on me. I thought we had bot wave up a little bit further, if I'm honest. Why are you scared? Just hit the tower. It's a free tower. Oh, we bled top tower. But I mean, bot lane should be massively winning now. Like, just the amount of attention we've given to bot lane should be impossible for them to lose at this point. They're probably going to come mid lane to collect the wave, although this wave is going to stack up a little bit too quickly for them to collect it. I could TP mid lane here to collect the entire wave, but I think just opening through mid lane makes more sense. I think Void Staff next is not terrible, although Nasus is the only champion that has magic resist, and realistically speaking, is Nasus my target this game? Doubtful. Wait, really? Wow, you misplayed that horrendously, brother. You could have escaped as well. That was very funny. I mean, I think Garen can match Nasus in the side lane because Nasus has Spirit Visage. So I cannot imagine a world where Garen does not just win it. Because, I mean, Nasus is full magic resist, right? Although I'm looking at this world right now and I might just be flat out wrong. I want to shove out this wave against the Teemo. I mean, we killed the enemy jungler, we killed the enemy top laner, or enemy support. Realistically speaking, we should look for a Drake here. I know you want to play top side here. Okay, I mean, I will just black shield myself for the sake of it. Fish with a bind. Oh, it hits, nice. No real intention of trying to kill the Teemo here. I don't have damage without my ult. But if I hit another bind, he dies. Again, like, the more binds you give yourself, the higher of a likelihood you have of killing the enemy laner. Ah, one hell, this it. Yeah, that's why you can never just stop and stare. You need to keep locked in. I mean, if I auto-attacked him once, he was dead. I just thought he was dead regardless. He's probably basing in this bush. Hello. No. And I missed the cannon. It's a terrible day. Fish with bind. Sounds pretty good to me. If it hits, that's awesome. If it doesn't, so it goes. He just wasted his W, so he has no easy way of jumping on me. I kind of just want to continue pushing out the waves. And I don't really have enough gold to go for my base yet, so let's just continue shoving out the wave. Morgana being Morgana, shoving at such an obnoxious rate. Take the blue buff here. Don't you dare steal it from me. I got it. Guaranteed. Secured. Dude, I can never trust you. I don't know if you're trying to get my blue buff. The thing is, I want to defend the mid lane tower. I mean, this Teemo is just dead. And Morgana, you find a binding, enemy laner, dead. Good night. Was an honor. Okay, looks like she wants to continue laning bot lane, so I will just stay mid lane. Realistically speaking, I want to get into the side lane at some point. Because it's a lot easier to find binds on people when they don't have vision on you. My Garen is just proxying. That's very funny. Well, we managed to get our push, but there are 800 Teemos rooms around me, so before I die, let me just take my base. Take my base and then come back to mid lane. We're gonna run Death Cap next, give ourselves the most amount of ability power possible. The enemy team doesn't have enough magic resist, I don't think, for me to justify building Void Staff next. Gonna teleport mid lane here, and then I want to see if I can open through bot lane and look for a kill. Maybe I should actually push out mid lane here and then run top. Makes a lot of sense to me as well to do this. The problem is I just don't beat Nasus in the 1v1. But my Garen should have time to run top lane before anything happens. Maybe I just black shield myself when I face check bushes, because there's inevitably going to be a Teemo's room. Yeah, I mean, Misfortune realistically should want to go through mid lane, but she just isn't. Which, okay, you're gonna go mid lane finally? Great. Maybe we can even kill the Teemo here. I mean, I can just walk at him, right? And then press R, and he should die. Yeah, I mean, Morgana is gonna be Morgana. Just wait, run at them, press your ult, and then press your Q on them when they're stunned, and then press your W, and they're dead. Gonna open through bot lane here because I want to collect minions. My team should be able to pressure mid lane here, and now we can create a very large numbers advantage on the map because Ashe is gonna be bot lane. Enemy mid laner is dead, enemy top laner is dead, and I'm holding Ashe in a 1v1 bot lane. So that means we have a 2v4 on the map, which should be massively winning if you think about it. So we should be able to get a lot of objectives done here. Or just take a lot of control at the very least, in terms of like getting a lot of vision or getting a lot of control in the enemy jungle. Looks like we're not, somehow. Not really sure how we're not getting any control on the map here. But I'm just going to sweep around the bot side here. Continue pushing out my waves. See if I can find a Q on the Ashe. She stood still to auto the minions, so my Q didn't hit. That is unlucky, because I do think I one-shot her if my Q hits. Okay, we're fighting on the top side, but I don't have teleport, so I can't really join it. This is probably warded now because, well, she has a ward available and she knows that I was trapping there. Oh, he went for grubs? That's so greedy. Respect it. Could look for a dive here. The problem is I just have to land a Q. Okay. And Morgana is gonna do Morgana things. Oh, you have flash. Well, then I am dead. Get a bind though. Maybe she dies. It's just half of her health is gone. Miss. He's gonna flash on me. But I have to dodge the Q still, otherwise I die. So I'm kind of confused in terms of how we didn't get anything on the map here. Because they sent... Like, I held someone 1v1 bot lane, I killed the enemy Teemo, and then we two-manned the enemy Nasus. So we should have had a 4v2 on the map. And we didn't manage to take any objectives. And now my Garen is opening through bot lane, which means I have to go match the Nasus, who's stacking magic resist. As Morgana, without magic pen. So we get into a very ugly spot here. Yeah, this is terrible. My Garen is completely griefing what I want to do this game now. Because I'm going to be stuck in lane against Nasus. There's nothing I can do against him. Like, he's going to walk at me and he's going to heal up everything I do to him. Maybe Volibear is going to match him, which I think might be okay. I don't know if he can, though. I should hope so. But now, like, you can see, like, Garen is kind of just making this game unplayable for us. Because of the way he's moving on the map. So I have to open through mid lane. There's no way I'm going to run top lane here. Because we're fist fighting on the bot side. I think just push out mid lane here makes the most sense. Teemo is top lane as well. Well, I mean, I know you want to do Atakan. But brother, we don't have a jungler. So I think I push out mid lane and then go defend top lane. Makes a lot of sense to me. Enemy team shouldn't have waves. Now they're going to bleed a mid wave. So my Misfortune should be able to run mid lane and take that tower. Looks like she's not going to. Hello, buddy. Good night, buddy. You flash again, eh? Not this time, buddy. Walk at you. Press alt. Slap you. I bound a minion by mistake. Yeah, I dislike how my Misfortune played this sequence. Are they on it? No, they're not. I think keep pushing out top lane. I could maybe teleport mid lane here, take the wave, and then pressure that tier 2. But now we enter a very awkward spot where Morgana can't really force a whole lot on her own. Maybe I teleport bot lane here, but they should be okay, in which case I can continue shoving out top lane. And this is eventually going to drag someone up here, in which case we'll have a numbers advantage. So what I can do here, drag someone top lane, take my base, get death cap, teleport down to a potential Atakan fight. Like, realistically speaking, what we should be doing is forcing off of my teleport timer here, but I don't know if that's what we're going to do. So someone should come top lane here, more than likely Teemo to defend this. In which case, I'll take my base now, pick up death cap, then teleport out onto the map if we're going to fight. Probably teleport bot side here, because we are fighting. Oh, someone else is TPing. That's probably Nasus. If it's Teemo, then I think he dies. Okay, buddy. Press W on myself so you can't break my shield, or you can't hit me. Look for my Q on you. Boom. I could actually ult him here. He probably dies. But these minions are blocking me. And look at the heal from him. I could flash Q here. But looks like we're not even in position to chase. Take my base here. Ashe's Rage splitting topside. We got mid tower as well. This should be a free bot tower. In which case I'm going to base now. And then look to go top lane to defend this up here. And try to hold the Ashe in the 1v1. My Garen is running them around the map here. Maybe I can go save him. He should be okay though. Maybe open through mid lane, push out the wave, and then look to take control over bot. Pantheon opens bot, Teemo's mid. Ashe is probably in base. My Garen can take over top lane here. Looking good. Play around Fog here, sit around the side, try to look for a bind on the Teemo. Now he could try to trap me quite heavily here. I'm just going to spell shield myself to avoid the damage. He could try to run down and contest this, but I don't see him on the map. So in all likelihood, he is trapping a bush. Were he running down there? Like, did I see him? If I saw him on the ward, I would have ran down and tried to contest. But I didn't see him on the ward at all. I'm just going to black shield myself when I face check. Because I know I'm going to step into a shroom. We all know that's exactly what's going to happen. We got Atakan. Okay. And I mean, despite the fact that Garen has tried to make this a very tough game, now he's actually useful. And, like, don't get me wrong, Nasus still beats me in a 1v1. And Nasus got to scale. But it doesn't matter, because I got my teammates far enough ahead. Which is what actually matters. See if I can find the bind on the Teemo. Apparently not. I mean, you can see I can just keep spamming my W on these guys, and they will just lose so much health. Oh, okay. I think I one-shot you, to be honest. I want to get my Nasus stun for sure. There we go. Look at the CC. Oh my god, look at the CC. Oh my god, the clone blocked it. And I missed my binding on Teemo. But we can just wave clear. Take my base here because I'm getting quite low. It was really only a 1-for-1? Yeah, I guess it was just me and Garen. Hourglass is good, but am I realistically going to be diving in this game? I think it's kind of unnecessary, but Hourglass is good in case the enemy team dives on me as well. But the style of play that I advocate on for Morgana, Hourglass is not really necessary. But it does allow you to go in and make a very flashy play, so I don't hate the idea of getting it like quite late into the game. But I think you should prioritize your other items first. Unless you're in a game where, realistically speaking, you need to force proactive plays with flash ult, which is very rare on Morgana, especially at the lower end of the ladder. I'm going to open through top lane here just to make sure that I collect the wave against Nasus. I don't know why my entire team is very insistent on running around trying to catch the Nasus. I can just wave clear against him and it should be okay. But looks like we really want to try to just catch him on repeat. Ah, that was a very bad binding, but it should be okay. He should just die anyway. Could potentially force a Baron here. I want to push out this wave. Get my lifesteal going on this cannon minion. Oh, looks like there's a fight happening here. Can I save the misfortune? Q, maybe? Oh, I didn't even get an assist. She's dead anyway. Open through mid lane, maybe. There's 3 men here. Garen is splitting bot lane, so the longer we can hold the enemy team mid lane here, the more winning we are. Just flash on the Ashe here. Okay, she has flash as well. Press W on her. Okay, but I have black shield, so this should be okay. Or I have Hourglass, so it should be okay. Yeah, she kind of just ran into me there. Not sure what that was all about. But I mean, the longer we hold the enemy team, the more winning we are. Okay, now Zinza opens mid. Stops the Garen, but that's okay. Probably push out mid lane here, then maybe even run top lane. I like the idea of running top lane here. Just to continue shoving out top waves and now potentially dragging someone up here. Because Nasus is the one defending bot side. There's no one going to be defending top lane. So I think we can pressure this tower quite heavily. Pantheon might have ult up, so that could get a bit awkward. We also would need a ward here to make absolutely sure we're not getting dove on, but so it goes. We get a top tower here. I think I can continue pushing out the waves. I don't actually want to play this. I just want to push the wave. Get my gold, take my base. I have teleport available. We probably want to play Drake here. It's Sol. In which case, well, we probably just upgrade to Magi. We get our elixir as well. I don't think there's value in upgrading to these boots. Oh, maybe there actually is. Oh, these boots are crazy on Morgana. I thought the main reason was more summoner haste, but it's not. It's the movement speed boots. Okay, well, let's teleport out mid lane here. These seem good on Morgana. Allows you to stick to the enemy team with your ult a lot more easily. The reason we're TPing out for this play is it's Sol. So if we get this, it's kind of a guaranteed win. Kill the Zinza. Oh, my Nico is stunned. Oh, we're continuing this play? I don't think this is very good. I think we can die too easily here. Yeah. I mean, I could ult the Nasus. You like that? You like that black shield on the Nasus Wither? It's pretty nice, wasn't it? Okay, well, I mean, someone is there, but they got slapped a bit. Problem is we don't have... Well, Zinzao is dead, so this should be guaranteed. I'll help him with it, and then I'm gonna run through mid lane here. Just help him as much as possible. And Pantheon just ulted there. Let me go find him. Black shield myself. Go see if I can find him. He will be up here. Yeah, should be dead. I don't even need to help. Let's maybe go through... Oh, we could go to Baron here as well. Okay, that's the game. Yeah. Fun game, Morgana. Just keep pushing waves and then roam. And press Q, and that is it. You're okay. That is why she has such an obnoxiously high win rate at the lower end of the ladder. She's just so simple to play. She doesn't have any like advanced mechanics. Very clear cut what you need to do as a champion, both in the mid game and both during the laning phase. And you can see highest damage in the game. Even though, did it really feel like I was doing a whole lot of fighting? Not to me personally, but yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See ya. Bye 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 bye.